Welcome back everybody, hopefully I'm being heard and the sound's working today. The camera's awake, which is nice. So how's it all going? Today we're going to have a bit of a chill out, so welcome back. 7:30 on the 17th of August, it would be a Sunday. Hello Fernicar and Apollonia, I can see you in the chat, battlecruiser operational as they say. Don't forget to like the stream, and if you're watching live or if you're watching later, there's a Discord join link in the description. Okay, what are we doing? Abstract Chaos. Right, so this is a model which I did many years ago. It's like 3 years old. Okay, so we've got that one running in the top left, and we've also got a little bit of active megacity in the top right. We want to just have it on a normal loop. There we go. So straight into it, guys. No hanging about, because I've got a lot to do. Even though it's a chill out stream, we like to juggle. So all of these were done with the temporal enhancer. I think we send a prompt from the original dataset along with the image. So I'm just feeding a dataset in. Do you know what? I need to move the video down a bit. It's clipping some pixels. That'll do. So, Abstract Chaos is exactly what it is. But it's interesting that the worlds that I was seeing are also seen by the AI, and it's going ahead and animating it for me. So we've got two things happening here. We're animating scenes just randomly. Obviously we could have given some directive, but I just wanted to see what would happen if I just fed my dataset, image and caption into the system and see what the ENH makes of it. Now I will say that the ones on the left, that was running for like a whole day. For the ones on the right, I'm showing all different stages, from raw output to interpolation to post effects to upscale. So even though you're going to see the same video on the top right over and over and over, it's actually increasing through each stage. Whereas on the left, you're only seeing the final upscaled output, which has been cathode rayed and everything else. And I ain't done. I'm planning on using these as like the background. Okay, and we're going to do some stuff. Don't know what's going to happen. I'm thinking glitch chain, because I can just pull that up. I've already got it built, and then we can just feed each video in, and they'll all kind of glitch out a little bit. I was also thinking super slow motion as well. Just push the rife to the absolute limit, because it's so abstract. But we'll see how we go. It might be that you're better off doing that earlier if you want to do that. Maybe use GIMS. But in any case, let's see. What are the ones on the right? The ones on the top right are now the final outputs. So up until now, they've been like the various stages, but now they're finished. It's a slightly different aspect ratio, I think. The top right is 3:2 and the top left is 16:9. Let's make these a little bit bigger. See what I mean? The aspect ratios are not the same. So you can see the file name, video, is a raw output. They're pretty good. I'm surprised it knew what I was trying to, do you know what I mean? I'm surprised it knew what to do. There really are quite a lot of them on the left. Maybe 150? Not sure. Wait, no, there won't be 150. I've just realized it'll be less than that, because it's more than 150 if you include, there was like 4 versions, so you divide it by 4, it's probably like 40. It's on interpolation now on the right, so 3x interpolation rendered at 60 FPS, and then the next phase will be the cathode ray noising. Colors and patterns represent the iris of the eye, and those are more like a universe made out of the iris, the universe of the observer, where the superposition collapses to a choice. Yeah, it is. Like I said, the reason it's called abstract chaos, it's supposed to be an what is it called? An interstitial space, a dimension between dimensions. So it's like all non-Euclidean, and there's like a lot of like nerves. You know, I like my excessive cables, so it's like neurons and brain matter and synapses, and then it just kind of forms columns and architecture out of it, because the fractals kind of build those structures and they get enhanced, and it creates this really beautiful cosmic type aesthetic. So we've seen enough of this one. Here, let me just show you at full screen. If I just kill my feed real quick. Hold up, I need to pull the plug out. Alright. Let's see it in full. This is the full whatever, you know. So you can see it, artifacts and all. What I've done and my best to do is to actually sort of embrace this weirdness and just add a bit of noise. And just embrace the blurriness. A little bit of glow. And I actually think it works really well. Like, I'm going to use this 100% for... Because the thing is, if I want to make a music video, right, I can just leave this on overnight. And here's the thing. I actually want to redo this tonight, where I'm going to use the WAN versions, because I already ran this model through WAN. So these are the original outputs that I'm using to run the video, right? But I think if I took the WAN outputs, so in other words, I did image to image with the images I'm using here, and already made them into like 4K super detailed. And so even though you can't really get super detailed out of the video model, right, because it's not that high res, I have to render at 1440 by 960. Which is still pretty pretty big, guys. 1440 by 960 is not bad. It's pretty respectable, to be honest. For video. And like I said, it's giving me almost like, do you know what I mean? If it was a little bit sharper, it would look like Marvel, Ant-Man, Microverse type stuff. But I don't have a video upscaler yet. So I'm using my fast interlaced upscaler at the moment, which is quite blurry. But, I mean, if I just turn the music up right now, it fits. I'm not going to do that because it'll screw with everybody's audio settings, but look at it, it's beautiful. I'm into it. And the joke is, this is probably one of my first styles. I don't know, if you go and look on my Civic profile and go back to like my earliest models, I know that Assassin Carb, or Khabib as he's known, and the Abstract Chaos, these are two of the first data sets I ever trained, you know, way back when. So it's like 3 years old, and it's crazy to see it brought to life like this, I'll be honest. It kind of almost looks a little bit like cosmic divinity, because it's got a little bit, look at this architecture. Excuse the random boat. I haven't deleted anything. I want to show you it all. Okay, there's no cherry picking. I haven't cut anything out. It's all there, warts and all. I think it actually came out really well. I think if I was to hit this with or if I was to hit the originals with a better upscaler, I think this is going to be beautiful, because it'll pick out all these details. Do you know what, guys? I do wonder. WAN is really good at upscaling frames, but it would take an age. It would take an absolute age. You know what I mean? To like upscale each frame. You know, like image mode, upscale. So use WAN to do video upscaling. But dude, it's like, it could take hours just to get like a few seconds. Not even. I don't think it's practical. feasible but not practical, because I think that the flicker wouldn't be very bad. I don't know. We're on up 19. I'm going to keep a note of the number because we've basically all, I think we've seen them all. I just want to go through it one more time. And I've got 2 missions tonight. One of them is to train Khabib, Assassin Carb, and potentially his brethren, we'll see. Might have to do a Carb OG. Depends how easy the datasets are to find. But that doesn't take long. I'll just set that up in the background. Because it's a kick-ass style. And then the other thing, of course, is I need to move datasets into my image prompt folder so I can do more of this. Because, you know, I don't need to sit there and watch it, the timer go up. I've got other, you know, we got other things to do. And then maybe we could make a data set out of WAN outputs. Like a new version with new captions and all. I think that would be interesting. Okay, that's it. No, wait. It's okay, we've seen the boat. We've seen them all. Alright, cool. Let's put this back in. And we're back. So yeah. Like I said, for the benefit of anyone joining late, I'll leave this up on the screen for a little bit. But, I think you can appreciate. I think these came out really nice. I mean, look, if you were to actually look at the, let's take a look at the actual inputs, and I will show you. Let's see, that's workflows, that's albums. Right. So, if we duplicate this tab, and then it's not in input, it's in custom nodes, DJZ, and then in an image prompts folder I put some data sets in there. I need to put more in there, but put it by name, abstract chaos. Oh wow, what the heck? Caption is to prompt list, load of Python still in there. I'm surprised that's not causing a problem. Oh my god, we don't even use that anymore. Isn't that crazy? My caption collector script. So you just drop that in and it just makes the caption file. We used to do that before I had the comfy workflow to do it. It's interesting. Stuff I forget about. Anyway, let's leave that alone. So on the track, so for example, this would be the sort of image that was actually being put into the video with no prompt as well, you know, just like, oh, describe, because I'm using vision, so I'm like, describe the image, you know. We've covered my temporal enhancer before. It's an image to video system prompt, and it uses either Sonnet 4 or Qwen 2.5 VL, depending on if you use Olama or if you use oh, by the way, Fernicar, quick question for you. I noticed that you did you have time to look at that no install Olama thing I linked? Because I saw it and I thought of you. I thought you might like that, because I know in the past it's been tricky to get access to models. But yeah, let's just take a quick moment to draw attention to the AI signals feed. It's a little resource that we have on our Discord. Okay, there's a couple we're going to look at real quick. We're just doing a little segment here. What I do is I post anything which I think is interesting and relevant as the progress of AI and blah blah. It might not always be image and text model related. It might be just something cool, like for example, AI successfully controls plasma in a fusion experiment. Some of this is like, you know, trivia. When people say, oh, AI bad, you can just point to all of these It's a long list of stuff, guys. Every day, people act like AI's not making discoveries, but then just not really looking to find. You know what I mean? Because they are. What's this? AI-generated models shake up the fashion industry and raise concerns. Concern doesn't stop a tidal wave, unfortunately. You know, it is what it is. UK government, AI helpers could coach people into careers and help them move home. Don't know, you know. What's this? AI-based fake papers are a new threat to academic publishing. I actually think this is kind of weak, because the weird thing is, I bet many papers are AI-based and they just don't know or can't tell. So it's sort of like you know what I mean? It's a subjective abstraction to try and say, oh, this is the threat. The threat isn't AI. The threat is lazy research. Do you see what I mean? You didn't need AI to be a lazy researcher. You can just publish more. So, AI to help police catch criminals before they strike, from gov.uk. A little bit of pre-crime unit going on in the UK. And just various other things. UK appoints former OpenAI lead as chief AI advisor. Okay, so interestingly, it's not all doom and gloom. Oh yeah, look at this. AI finds hidden safe zones inside fusion reactor. It's probably how they did the next one, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's funny. It's almost like this was the episode before. But yeah, look, here we go. This is an interesting one. So, like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. Sometimes it's winners, sometimes it's losers. But yeah, so this is a PyTorch implementation for Dino v3. What is Dino v3? Well, Dino v3 is awesome. Okay. So we're pointing at the thing here. We're pointing at the thing and it's masking the thing, or identifying the thing. So high quality dense features without fine tuning. Oh, you know, it's already outperforming. So it's a vision model. Okay. So yeah, big deal. Dino was a big deal, and they've brought out their new version. I don't know much about it right now, but I would expect to see some advances in like masking and things like that. Who knows? Who knows? Just keeps going. Alright, anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Another obvious one is the GitHub Hugging Face. So this was the thing I wanted to talk about. Here it is, Llama Pen. Alright. So Fernicar says, I just went in the demo, no install needed, link is all you need, connects to your local Ollama. You do need Ollama, but the interface is no install. Ah, okay. Well, let's just check I've got Ollama running. And I do. Okay, so let's have a look at this thing. Do we have to git clone it? Oh, it's just, they've got a, I can just do it here, can I? Unable to connect, it says, blah, 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 blah. Ensure Ollama is running. Settings. Expose llama to the network. Hey, hey. That's probably the bit that you needed to do there. I don't know. Let's find out. Not connected. Llama Pen API. Oh boy, an API. That means we could have an MCP. Nope, still can't find it, huh? Setup guide on Windows. Do this, do this, do this. Wait, what? Huh? Huh? Set Ollama origins. If you want to be able to do this, add this. Oh my god, what's all this nonsense? Or you can just clone and use local. Ah, it's because I'm on the website. Right. Kill it. This won't take a minute. I love these sorts of side quests. They're the best. So yeah, we'll just do the beauty of AI. So let's just put it up there, and we'll do a file, open folder. We go to our tools or projects, wherever you keep them. We'll go for a new one. We'll call it, what's this called? Latent. Cool. It looks fresh. I like it. Let's give it a blast. So open up our terminal, git clone. You guys know the drill by now. Git clone the URL. Come on, let me... We need a dead zone for this. I might have to make like a mod for Windows that gives you a dead zone for the sliders, because I tell you what, 1 pixel on a high definition screen, it's like ridiculous. The abstract is a great finding, by the way. Special for Sunday chill. Is it chill? What do you mean by the abstract, my guy? I forget. I just love... Oh, the abstract chaos. Well, I love the abstract chaos. Like I said, I would show you guys. If I still had Civitai, I would pull it up and show you, but when I have to act like a supervillain just to access a website, I don't think it's necessary. Do you know what I mean? We're going to ping through 6 VPN countries to make sure. It's like, nah, it's far too much effort for me. So obviously, once we've done our clone, we're going to immediately move into the folder so that the root is the project. It's just a little thing for the folder in a folder type stuff. Anyway, so readme. Do you want to install? Yeah, sure. I didn't even know you could do that. Oh, Tailwind doesn't work, huh? Don't care. It's a waste of time. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, you better not have just broken everything. No install needed, it says. So we've got a guide. But it says you can just do that. Right, run I. Bun. What the hell is bun? I've never seen bun before. We're going to find out what bun is, guys. Are you ready? Bun. I. Predictable. So yeah, there's no bun on my system, guys. Yeah, we can't bun. What's bun? Alright, let's see. Lava pen guide, it says. Let me just Yeah, guide. Okay. What is bun? Yeah, bun. Claude. Who is bun? How is bun? Yeah. Bun is a JavaScript. You can install bun like this. Ah, wasn't so bad. Guys, we can run bun now. I love AI so much. I don't even know what bun is. Do I have to restart my terminal? Yeah, restart the terminal and type buns. Okay, we can close it. We might have to restart, you know, VS Code. We'll see. Okay, bun I. Crap. Let's just kill it. I think we have to kill all of them. I've got lots of them open. Alright. To be fair. Alright, I've killed all my windows. I hate it when they make you do that. I absolutely disagree. Right, let's just use the recent system. Llama pen. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I don't care about Tailwind. I need to run my buns. Yes. Success. We've got bun now. We've what's it called? We've ascended to bunhood. I don't even know what. I've never even heard of bun. It's like, oh, it's a JavaScript thing. You can install it with this command. Cool. I wonder if it'll work. No, is my Steam Deck updating and stealing all the bandwidth again? Give me a sec. Oh, the Steam Deck, guys. It runs Linux. I want to see if I can run an LLM on this thing. Okay, we'll get there, and then I'll sell it. Okay. Oh, are you kidding me? It failed because of mate. It failed because of bloody Tailwind. I just don't believe it. The irony, because I have been really quite flippant about the Tailwind installation, and now I'm eating cold buns. All right, it's time to get Claude to help. When I run bun I, when I run bun I receive error. Help. I should have typed we can investigate, but it probably just makes sense in the context of what's going on. What the hell? There we go. Problems. It's probably assuming I have Linux, or that I know what bun is. Straightforward, guys. Oh wait, that's country war, let's be honest. Dragon, evening. I just had the dog for a Dracaris. Doesn't that mean set someone on fire? Is your dog a dragon? I concede experiencing problem. It's a permission error. Oh look, and I just installed Vue.js just recently. Use PowerShell. Upgrade bun. Oh my god. Alternate package manager. Install Tailwind individually. I recommend doing everything. Okay. Oh right, so when you say Dracaris, he poops. That's a pretty good party trick. Feels bad for the doggo if you forget to say it though. Ah, he wants to run the clear cache. It's a brand new thing. It won't be that, it's a brand new installation. It worked. Go on then, run bun I, and it will still fail because he hasn't really done anything as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it went through. Cheeky bugger. Well, I can't argue with that, can I? Maybe there was something wrong with the cache. Looks like it's installed, guys. So just run locally with no overhead. Yep. Bun, run, local. Thanks Claude. 16 cents well spent. Maybe. What port does it start on? You can install extensions for a smoother development experience. Well, it says it's running, I think. Unless it's building. Ah, it's building. Okay. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. What are we doing? We're running buns. Oh. Is this, what is this? It's alright, building for production, guys. We're building. It's built. Now what? Is it on a web page? Whoa. Something failed. Uh-oh. Should be running on this. but it's probably not. Nope. Damn, we were so close. Failed. Install failed. Okay. Hopefully he can figure it out. We're going to have to ask him again. Let's do it in context. When we started the app after installation, please investigate. Some chunks are larger than something after minification. Adjust the chunk size limit. We'll get there maybe. Or I'll give up and do something else. Bun X serve, yeah, okay, immediate workaround, use the built-in server, more bun cache. Why is there always, I've installed bun and we've had 2 commands and 2 cache problems. Doesn't sound like it's very good, guys. Doesn't sound like bun's very good. Anyway, running the abstract chaos in the top left, that would be the i2v temporal enhancer using 3-year-old images from SD 1.5. What's going on here? NPX serve distribution. Yeah. Let's do it. You need to install this. Yes. Oi! Don't take my focus away when I'm typing. Yeah, get. Oh, I think we got him. We got him. We're in. Okay. Who do we want to talk to? I've got a new model actually. Is that the new one? Let me just check. There aren't actually that many. See, Polaris is my current favorite. But I think, is it this one? Feels like that one's ancient. Yeah, it's not that one, is it? There was a new DeepSeek R1. So that's 4 gigabytes. Queen 3Q8. Oh, I don't remember now. It must be on my laptop, not on this machine. Oh. Can't do sync mode with that. Just clicking things, guys. Let's try a little experiment. Text isn't bad. That's not good. Oh, a classical statue of a bearded man with curly hair wearing sunglasses and a golden scarf is depicted drinking a glass of beer against a bright blue background. It's not bad. What does the text say? Let's see if it's actually a chat. Quen image distillated version faster inference. Okay. Yeah. Like I say, it's working. It was a ball ache to install, but it's working. I can't say that I'll use it a lot unless there's like some cool feature I haven't seen. But it's pretty cool. And like I said, if you have problems with some of the other UIs, that's fun. So anyway, there's a link in the Hugging Face. It's called Llama Pen, and it is a no-install web GUI. Ironically, I installed it, but you know, now I have it running in development mode. I could like change it if I wanted to. I could tell him, oh, I want you to add in, I don't know, make it read out the answers. You see what I mean? So maybe we'll come back to this one a little bit later on. Maybe we'll fork it and add in a module for, what's it called? I don't know if I'm even able to do this, but you know, we've got the module for that new text-to-speech, which is like 25 megabytes. So I'd say that would be a pretty cool project to just to try and integrate that to this. And, you know, I don't know about how you do it exactly. Maybe have like a button, or like just hack it. Just be like, oh, I want it to always read out the answers with this voice. So I guess you'd need to add a TTS modal with an on-off button to the settings page. I don't even know. Do you know what? I'm more interested in this now. Give me a sec. Let me just set this running, because it's not gonna hurt, is it? What's the name of the freaking? What's the name of the text-to-speech I'm talking about now? I can't even remember the name of it. So much stuff has come out lately, guys. It's actually insane. Here it is, Kitten TTS Nano. Okay, so first thing, have they brought out a bigger version? Because it's actually been time. What's that say? 13 days ago. Okay, so not yet. I think they said in 2 weeks, so it's probably like tomorrow. But as you can see, there is a Kitten TTS Nano, but you don't actually have to do that. See, they're planning on doing fully trained model weights soon. So there's your basic usage. There's your pip install. Alright. So let's just... There's a quantization. How would you... What? Okay, so that's how they got it down to 23 meg. Okay, fair enough. Kind of makes more sense. But anyway, so right, let's just copy that there. I probably already got it. Are we in this one? Yeah, let's go into this one. No matching distribution found for Masaki. Requires a different version of Python. It's got to be less than 3.13, but greater than or equal to 3.8. That's weird. Do I have to make it into a virtual environment? It's a waste of time. Is this bun? Yeah. Right, it's more interesting, but also looking like a major derailment. So I'm just going to get back to the plan. Right, so what do we want? We want replicate. And let's see. It's still a good idea, I think, but it's probably going to take a bit more effort. So let me just, because I might not have the actual source. That might be like just the app, and then you've got to like reinstall it again. I think they said you have the source, because you said you can run it in dev mode, but yeah. It's very cheap, guys. Very cheap. Okay. Right. Next, we're going to need a folder full of stuff. Okay. Let's hope they're where I think they are. Obum. It's thinking about it. Okay. Now, Assassin Carb, or Khabib, the classic, is actually on my GitHub, which is somewhere. Fernicar says, select the other theme in the config, plain dark. Ah, right, okay. That's interesting. Thank you, Fernie. Hey, Zeus, welcome to the show. And Full Dive as well. And I see your Clippy, mate. Fair play. I know what that's all about. He's a cool guy. funny, I could have ended up in that kind of life where doing loads of like repairs to computers and all, but he invested in loads of repair machines for doing really hardcore repairs, and I didn't go that direction. It's quite funny. So I was always watching him to see how that worked out for him, if that makes sense. He seemed to do quite well out of it. But I totally agree with him with the whole right to repair. You know, it used to be that you could just fix things, but now they deliberately make them so disassembly will break stuff that you can't get a replacement for, and that should be criminal, let's be real. Okay, so I need to grab the Assassin Carb model, so can I? Yeah. Assassin. So this is my original test training data set, which I put out on February 2024, so not that long ago, but it's a really old data set. Can we actually see the images? See what I mean? It's quite old, and every single image in the set has the same prompt. Demonic looking skeleton holding a sword with red hair, basically. Can we get another? No, I keep clicking on text files. It's not the same image. I keep clicking on the same image or a text file. Yeah, there we go. So they're not all the same, but it is all the same style. And my aim is to train this hair type, possibly the character. Everything else is kind of secondary. Obviously the composition, you know, person standing in the middle of like. But like I said, this trains on Assassin Carb, which is just it's slamming a classifier in front of a unique token, because there's no such thing as carb, yeah. And so it's gonna modify the carb style. It's kind of like a way I used to trick the old models into training styles like this. So we fine-tune Assassin with a unique classifier carb. The funny thing is, I wouldn't actually do it like this anymore. Now I would use K4HB and I would drop the Assassin, because otherwise you're really training Assassin, or at least part of the training is training the Assassin tokens. So then it would be K4HB style would be what's getting trained, and then this image happens to be a demonic looking skeleton, blah 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 blah, which creates a bias towards the type of hair. And also there's a bit of a funny thing going on here. Does the sword have red hair? Think about it. Older clip models, it was just tagging, so they weren't really, you know what I mean? It would be a skeleton with red hair who's holding a sword. But the newer ones, sometimes they will actually be able to read the grammar and go, what, a sword with red hair? But the sword doesn't have red hair. But the trick I was doing there was to make it so that when the sword is being swung, there's like a blood cloud behind it, you know, like this, which is just nice for when you're doing action scenes. It's like a trick, I guess, really, like it. But anyway, let's see what we can do with this. So if we go to the main thing, and we're just going to pull this down. Whoop. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, it's download, not upload. See, it's force of habit, guys. I'm not used to this whole downloading from GitHub thing. What's going on here? Alright, so we've got our model. Let's unzip it. Because I got a little proposal. Because we could train it like this. Let's bring it into view here. So we could drain it like this, and what is that? Oh! It's 2048 by 2048. Wait, what? One of them is 2048. Okay, so it looks like I upscaled one of them to the best of my ability, and the rest of them are small. Let me just check the sizes. Oh no, there's another upscale there. Oh, okay, well there's actually a nice mix. Right, it's fine. It's good to go. We can just throw this straight in. Throw it in. Where are we going to go? Go with this one. Okay, so brief rundown on WAN, image training. And yeah, I'll say hello to him later, Fernie. He's doing, what's he doing today? He said the precision machining that he's doing. This is my brother down in the workshop below me. He's doing some kind of thing and he has to like machine the bolts with a lathe. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, it's pretty fat. It's pretty fat. So let's just go here and say Assassin Carb. So the original WAN V0. Okay. Wait, what am I doing here? Yeah, that's cool. Private. In fact, we can make this one public. Drag it in. And it's going to be so exactly the same as before. Let me just make sure that I actually did spell assassin like that, because it will matter. Ass in carb. Yep. Ass in carb. Perfect. Alright, cool. We do not want auto captioning because this is an experimente. Every single caption is the same. The idea is to trick it into giving us a consistent character from an average of the spread. And there's only 10 images. So nothing else we need to do here. We're going to leave it on 2000 as that's the base. But again, with 10 images, you probably didn't need that many. You probably needed like 200. But I'm not going to second guess it on this one. We're just going to go with 2000. It'll be overtrained, but you know, you can do a retrain with less steps if you want to do that. That's what I recommend. Other thing is 632 is nice for 480p, but we want to target 1024, so I'm going to go with 960, which is a slightly more higher resolution codec safe number. There are higher ones, but I found even if you're training at 2K, all the images in your dataset, it doesn't really make any difference. It might help with the composition stretching issue at super high resolution, but as we found out, you don't even need to do that. It'll generate in 2048 by 2048 anyway, even if you train it on 1000, so don't worry about it. So this would be for 1024 by 1024 and up. Anyway, you can look all this stuff up if you're interested. So I'm going to do cache latency to disk, even though I've only got 10 images. I probably don't need to, but it's a good, point. And then that's it. We're done. We're ready to go. I'm tempted to recaption the model now and give it a retrain. I'm very tempted. Very tempted to do that quickly. Okay, so let's see how quickly can we do this. I feel like I'm not in the... Where was it? Where did it go? Yep, there it is. 2 seconds, guys. I've got to do something in record time. So here it is. Does it actually... I'm always like worried about the structure of folder and a folder and a folder. And see what I mean? That's the actual thing. I hope it doesn't crash, because that's the actual... Do you know what I mean? That's the data set. So I may have just passed it a crappy thing. Oh well, we'll just have to wait and see if it errors out, because sometimes it can't see inside a folder in a folder in a folder. Some of them unpack and are able to just find, you know what I mean? It requires recursion in the command line script, so you have to actually... So I hope it's done that. Dragon says there's a small TTS with quants called Spark NV. That's cool. Well, the interesting thing about that one I just showed you, do you remember DJZ Speak that was based on the same what's it called? That was based on the same speech as Stephen Hawking, but yeah, so they've got that in the tech stack for that tiny one. So basically they've used modern machine learning techniques to fine-tune or augment that old eSpeak NG system. So it's really interesting that they did it in 25 meg. I can't wait to see the full weights on that one. What was it called? I forget. We looked at it 5 seconds ago. Zeus says, is it effective to make a LoRa out of so few image? I always try to have at least 30-ish clean. You're correct. You should always have more LoRas, but when I'm doing investigation on see, I use this model to test the configs before I give it a proper big model, just so I can iterate faster. You can imagine this is the same as generating a video with 20 frames or less, so that you don't have to wait the full 5-10 minutes to see if the config change you made. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the minimum, it's the 10, because actually Dream Booth, we could train LoRa's with 6 images, but you really have to caption them well or be experienced in knowing how to curate the image set. I could talk for hours about that. But what I mean is, Assassin Carb is a test set of 10 images, and they all use exactly the same captions to define a character and then see how that transfers, what it learns, and then I can interpret this. We've trained it on so many models. So the thing is, I can't, do you know what I mean, to make it fair, so I can compare this with SD2, 3, Flux, XL, you know what I mean? I train the same. That's why I gave the data set out, because anybody can do it and repeat my results. You see what I mean? And then maybe even find a training config which is even better than the one I put out, and then we all benefit. It's part of the open research aspect here. But yeah, so this one's on my GitHub. I put it out. It hasn't changed. Yeah, even the numbers being at the end of the thing, it's not, technically it should ignore the numbers, but anyway, getting off pieces. Oh, it's doing it. If anything, 2000 is way too many for 10 steps, guys. But I normally train with Prodigy. It should automatically scale, and we're just leaving it on defaults, because I find the less you change, the easier it is to judge the effect of changes. So this is like my ultimate baseline tool. I train this on defaults. I've done about 10 trains to prove that works, the 960 value. But they even do say in the thing, a 480p use 632. So they gave you the key to work it out. But as you can see, these are the settings we're using. Just defaults. I'm not even using my new trigger method. So this would be a direct retrain of an SD 1.5 model on WAN. You know what I mean? It's just literally like derp-a-dur. Here's the data set from 2 years ago. Bang. Because even though I published it last year, it's actually a lot older. You can go back and I think it might be one of the first LoRa's I trained on SD 2.1. Right, so anyway, we'll let this run. Like I say, 2,000 steps is quite a lot. It might not actually... No, it'll be finished before the show's over. So we're going to see the results. That'd be nice. And also, this is a brilliant way to make what I call style colors. So it's like the concept of mixing paint applies to mixing styles. Like, you can stretch that analogy too far, okay? So, but yeah, the concept of making green with blue and yellow, correct. As to what blue and yellow represent, that's where it stretches too far, because it's too abstract. But I think you've all seen, jungle style, skyscraper style. Put the two together, super crazy jungle skyscraper style. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple, I think. Zeus says, folder in folder sound like the day where you downloaded raw part 1 of the YAR content. Indeed. But yeah, I agree that if you want to make a good LoRa, 30 to 40 pictures is the sweet spot. Any more than that, you probably didn't need to include some samples. Probably you're just going. But there's a reason sometimes you might do it. Like say you want to have augmented backgrounds and you want to be able to pull them up. Say I want to get a character in an outfit in a place. I should train three new places. So that means maybe the person has a couple of poses, but he has the same outfit. So say there's 3 poses in 3 backgrounds. That's like 9 images straight away. Do you know what I mean? Straight away you're already at 9 images and he's only got 1 outfit. So obviously it gets pretty big pretty quick. Every time you add a new point of variation, it like times the dataset side by itself. So yeah, it can get out of hand. But anyway, we're going to be training this guy. Now, I do wonder what they actually look like over here. Because we've got, that's 1, check, done, next. We're doing well, that's another half hour. Do you know what? Everything takes forever. So what are we going to do? We're going to go down here and have a look. Because I know that I was doing some stuff. And we tried out a bunch of these things. So now I've got to bloody find them again. Paradistro, Empire Style, Cyber Society, Stellar, Pristine. A lot of Paradistro. Oh my goodness. There's not a lot there actually. I thought there were more in there. Come on, mate. I wish it would tell me what the total gigabytes is. Always. This is a bit generic. See? There's stuff hiding in there. That's Helldivers. But like when it was weak and then you turn it up and it gets more Helldiver like. It was kind of funny because when we trained the Helldivers Lauras, we were like, oh, it's pretty good. And then I figured out like, oh yeah, you just like super boost. We figured out, didn't we? You just boost it. And then suddenly it's like, oh shit, that's actually like a game screenshot now. It's like super close. It was all Laura strength in the end. Like it doesn't look exactly right, but it's getting there. It was getting there. Same with the, you know, low strength, high strength. Low strength, it's like generic mid-journey type sort of situation, you know what I mean? It's like, it's all the colours are there and everything else, but when you actually go fine-tuned Laura, oh shit, that's actually looks like it's from the game. It's like totally different, dead ringer. Like obviously this isn't the character if you were to do a side-by-side, but all the aesthetic elements and the style and everything. We're talking about Stellar Blade, just for the record, if you were wondering. It had no clue what the enemy robots were, though, so she looks on point. But then these guys are just generic. It's like, I don't know. See, there's your generic version, see? No Laura loaded. We get 2 Iron Man and Cybergirl, but with the Laura loaded, we get the... Well, it's not the main character. It's weird. It's actually like the character that gets killed at the beginning, because I trained it on the intro. But somehow she's wearing a Eve-like attire. So it's doing its best, ultimately. No Laura. Brilliant. What the... We got some Battlefield 2070. I broke it. Oh yeah, the difference. What is it? No Laura. Yeah. This is without my Laura that was trained on internal video, you know, and this is with it. And I'm like, oh no, this is so close to the actual car. It's like unreal how close that is. Let's see, we did a bit of Buster Keaton. Don't ask, don't know. But, I mean, hey, maybe Buster Keaton. Could be one of his stunts. Less so with this one. But yeah, that one's pretty good. Like, he's hanging off this flying... some of these are great. I need to print... In fact, hang on. I need to... Right, where's Photoshop? I get distracted, guys. I told you it was going to be Sunday chill. We just need to get into the groove. Oh, man. That's I got to print this out. But which one, though, guys? This one? Do you reckon this one? Or the other one? This one's got like more old-timey cars in the background, but I think that one is sort of like, I don't know. I mean, neither of them make any bloody sense. Right, let's see. Oi. Photo, what? Oh, so useless. Yes, we'll have that one, please. Thank you very much. Let you see what we're doing, guys. Super easy. We're just going to copy it in there and shamelessly expand it with the power of Adobe bilinear technology or bicubic technology. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, that's a masterpiece. So now what we need to do is camera raw. You probably know the drill. We're going to grain it up. Hit 100. Let's get to a bit that has some detail and contrast. Scale this down to about just where it starts to kick in, which happens to be 32 today. And then maybe about there. Oh, it's going to be 32, huh? Okay, and then just bring it in. Don't tell me it's 32 all the way. It does look pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad considering how rough it was to start off with. It's a bit rough, you know what I mean? Like, his face is a bit rough. I'd be tempted to do an upscale on it just to sort of see if I can get some more pixels. Oh yeah, and then also we got some red in the background, which is kind of cool, but nah. So I'm just gonna do the old what's it called? Black and white. Alt Shift Control B. There we go. And we're going to make sure it's on sideways mode. Such a silly image. Yeah, there's paper in there. Alright, job done. Nice side quest. Probably going to find more I want to print as well. But yeah, more sort of like, you know, no Laura. So yeah, the Buster Keaton Laura is pretty good. I mean, even if you just want to make like old film. Is he hanging off a rope? Bloody is as well. What the? Okay. So, yeah, like I said, the Buster Keaton Laura was actually surprisingly good. It learned this old sort of monochrome style. There's a lot of dudes hanging from things. Oh. Interesting. The fire engine concept was too powerful. He's hanging from a rope in the middle of the street. Ah, Buster Keaton. That's a dead ringer right there. That's a good one. No Laura. I mean, that could be real. It could be real. A lot of these I haven't even looked at because we go so fast. Oh my god, there's a lot of people hanging from the feet. Oh, back to Helldivers by the looks of it. A lot of hell diving going on. That's, do you know what? It's getting very close. There's a few things that you can tell, you know, oh no, that's not quite right. But damn. You know, because the thing is, like, Laura doesn't actually train new images in, so it's having to make images using the difference between what it knows. So in that, it's actually extremely impressive that it even gets anywhere near close. There's a lot of Star Wars and generic stuff in there, you know, you can see. Ah, okay, so now we're testing the watercolor. Oh, and then that's it. That's all you get. Ah, hang on. Printer is done. I probably just used a lot of black ink, but I think it was worth it. Like I say, I think, again, his face looks a bit weird, and there was like a modern SUV in the background, which kind of ruins it, but... will it look okay if rotated 90 degrees to the left? Yeah, yeah, so it's like he's hanging off of it. Brilliant. Zeus says, lookalike pics you could put on your wall of an average corporate meeting room. Yeah, I actually was like making like, you know, old-timey motivationals, you know, where you, yeah, you get it, you get it. Like motivational posters, but they're like done in oil painting or done in 1920s black and white, you know. And it's kind of funny actually what the AI will come out with when you do stuff like that. So we've got RNG distributor. It's like trying to find, because there'll be some like mother loads in here which I have not looked at. The worst thing I found is you'll have a load of bad images at the beginning and then you get the settings right, yeah? And then you're like, ah, nice, now we'll do a big run of images, right? And they're just kind of buried in here now, right? So, okay, let's just do a little operation here. And let's go to projects, that's the best place for it. New folder. I'm gonna want new project. It's gonna be Sharona V5 and raw. Okay, so I got a bucket on the other screen basically, right? And I'm gonna snipe out any good Sharona images we find and add them over there. So, like that one is. Sharona V4. Oh, video. I don't even remember making these. Ah, I made them with the V3 model, look. Okay, so interesting. Is this more video? It is. When the hell did I make that? Oh, okay, we were experimenting. Sharona, different Sharona 1932. So this is where we experimented with high res. And to be fair, once we got the settings right, it wasn't bad. There you go. So that one there is 1728 by 1408, like a native generation. So I think we were experimenting with adding in like mixing the LoRa's. So let's see, that one's good. That one's a bit weird. The other leg looks a bit misshapen. But those two are fine. I will steal them. A bit more Stellar Blade attempts. That I think we did get there in the end. That one is close. It doesn't really understand the sword. I think we were messing around. Cyber Society, Cyber Society, Cyber Society, Cyber Society. Cyber blending. Cyber Dessous. It's a pretty good one. Shame it's got a giant cybernetic thingy in the background. No Laura. Alternate Sharonas. It was pretty close, you know, just the text description and no Laura loaded was actually pretty good. I was like, oh man, it actually looks more like like the backgrounds are what I was trying to get, to be honest. Kind of went in a different direction in the end. We went in this direction instead, so it's like kind of semi live action, I guess. Let's see what we got here. A bit too much technology in that, but robots in the background. Hold up. So that one's good. That one's not good. That one, yeah, that one and that one. We even did like some, you know, like instruct stuff. So we were like, my character, like it's a real thing, and it's like a Comic-Con. They're trying to, you know, they're dressing up like the character. A bunch of them. Lots of cyber society stuff. Distro, cyber, Sharona cyber, Thora. Lots of Thora. Maybe in the upscaler, boosted, no. That's a whole bunch of stuff for another thing. See, I'll probably never find them either. No preview? Give me the preview now. I'm just too impatient. So yeah, these are all headed for, well, some of these will make to Cyber Society Volume 2. My goodness. Endless projects. No. Yes. Sharona. So this would be... Wait, I've already got Cyber Volume 2 in here, haven't I? Nope. Right. Cyber Vol 2. Raw. Let's see, these are these 4K or 2K? 24 by 33, I don't know. Don't know. What's this? More Cyber Society. I think this is the other half of that project. How's the training going? Oh, 12 more minutes. Okay, so from here, I mean, it's a shame that these were pre-blended. See, I've blended it from here. So, all right. So we'll take those, and they can also go in here. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's basically the book, because obviously that's way more than I need. Just for the reference, if you are interested in producing art books and such, you can get away with 74 pages minimum mostly. So you don't actually need like thousands of images. You probably need like, because the thing is, what I like to do is just write up a bit of narrative for what it is. So, you know, that could be a byline or it could be a full page. It really depends how much you got in you and what the project is. But the point I'm trying to make is like 75 pages, like, you know, with an intro and an outro and your credits and your titles and all this. Once you've done all of that, you've probably only got like, it's probably less than 150 images, guys. And it's easy to do 4K upscale quality now. So, you know, I'm looking at a lot of like what's it called, remixing, where we take our old work and throw it through the new stuff just to boost it a little bit, so it doesn't really change, but it's bigger and higher quality. And then when it goes to print, like I said, this is why I've been doing a lot of printing, see how it looks when it comes out, because I know the last art book I did came out great, and the art is better now. You know, it's not just subjective. 3 years later, the art is better now. So I'm taking the exact same collection pretty much. I mean, obviously artistic license, liberty, blah blah blah, it's not the exact same images, but they're from the same collection, the same training set, the same, you know, theme. So if anything, it's just got better detail now. Before it was a bit of a mess, and now it's like fully formed, which is cool. Let's see if we can zoom in on one of these guys. And like I said, I want to have it in print so I can get lost in looking at this. I don't know if this is even the final form. I think we might have even improved it further than this. But there's something about this mess, and if you guys, I don't know, some of the older followers will remember that I went back to Midjourney version 2 last year specifically with old prompts to recreate this style so I could train it in Flux, right? And that was the beginning of the Cyber Society journey. And the weird thing about WAN is that I think it'll clean up even better than this. I don't think these have actually been fully upscaled, you know. I think we're going to end up finding even more images, because I'm doing a little bit of an asset hunt here, because as you can see, I've got 76 folders. Oh dear. Up, boosted. And the joke is, that's not even the final. So that style ended up being this after 6 evolutions with a bunch of my other styles. So we did loads of blending, and now we've turned it into this. And it'll just make stuff like this all day. But it's got the same like hallmarks. But again, this was, I think these images may have originally been Flux. See, I think that's been upscaled 4K. Yeah, the definition in the wiring is better. Okay. Do we have any like iconic? Oh yeah, okay, that's a classic. I keep on posting this one. So the couple of things about this style. One is this sort of it's like a type of oil paint where they allow the colors to be separated and bubbling like this to get this type of effect. It's kind of hard to do, but AI is really good at this kind of thing. Also the clouds do this particular pattern. And also everything seems to be made up of like rust, or I don't know. And then obviously there's the design itself, you know. Too many wires, big chest plate, bit of baroque, heavy baroque in the buildings. You always get the same, their helmets are the same shape as all the domes. Anyway, it's like extreme robotica, do you know what I mean? Love it. But yeah, these are obviously upscales of previous work, which is trying to retain the detail of them. They're quite complicated compared to the rest. Hey, what was that down in the bottom right there? Good times, guys. Bit of face swapping. So what do we got here? Video time. Ah, coffee time. Right, okay. We probably should just do a quick evaluation here. Are they all good? So I did these with an early workflow. We've made the workflow better now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. .1280 by 704, so they're quite low res as well. these early experiments with Thora. Oh man, I kind of like this weird effect where reality just goes all crazy. I know it's a bad render, but I think it's an opportunity to do special effects, you know? I don't know. They're all right. We'll come back to that. I can do Thora pruning another time. Be here all night. Okay, so I think I could have sworn there was more in there for Sharona. So maybe Sharona gets no love. What the hell? Poor Sharona. That's strange. Well, I mean, there's 32 images there, you know? It's definitely enough to train a Laura. I mean, I think maybe a little curation might be... Yeah, we don't want that. So, yeah, a little curation might be in order here real quick. Have we finished that training? No, not yet. Nearly. 4 more minutes, guys. 4 more minutes. So, even though it's a good image, I don't want to teach it this sort of scenario, these sorts of backgrounds. So let's see. Again, this may be a bit too real, you know, a bit too modern, maybe. But it's okay. Let's see what we got here. That one's... Oh, we got a bloody car in the background. God damn it. Shame. She was doing her make herself big pose to scare off predators. Anyway. All of these look good. Damn it, we're going to end up with turbines. Yeah, we got to get rid of that one. Look, there's robots in the background and bloody mechanical pumpkins. Mechanical pumpkins is this model's weakness. Look, mechanical pumpkins. There's even a couple up here, like, you know, they're bloody everywhere. They got into the data set early on and I couldn't get rid of them. Look, they're bloody everywhere. Wheel. Screw it. Wait, am I getting, wait a minute. Don't touch anything. Am I getting interfered with? Stupid computer. Good. 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 Not good. Good. Bloody hell, she's doing make it big and there's a truck. There must be a car prompt or something in the... There must be something making it make a car every bloody time. Do you know what? I'm not going to take the car out. That's the same pose. Ah! What's going on here? So 1536 by 934. Are these upscales or just the same? 1536 by 944. It must be that I'm just throwing the same image in over it. You know what I mean? I think I've got like a very limited set of images for some reason. And it's just going through the same few images. So which one do I prefer? It keeps resetting the bloody thing. Get rid of the one with the big clock. It just did it again. It's setting me to the top of the screen. I think it's something to do with the new video playing. I'm not sure. Alright, so we've got it down to 24 images. So... Okay. Oh, goody. Alright, so what am I going to call it? SH4RONA woman V0 door. Okay. Let's just shut that one out. I basically just sent them in an API to OpenAI off stream. It's just I got it on the other screen. So they got auto captioned by ChatGPT, I guess. Let's see what they did. Blonde-haired woman walks confidently through a vibrant, overgrown, futuristic landscape. She wears an orange outfit consisting of a crop top, shorts, matching leg warmers, accented by a utility belt and harness. Her attire is juxtaposed against the lush greenery and orange flowers that thrive in the cracks of the stone path. Surrounded by structures covered in solar panels and vines, a glowing screen with a digital pattern is available on a nearby tower. Okay. Just checking that it's Sharona woman, same trigger. So this would be like a, it's not actually V0. It's V5 V0, which is confusing. But it makes sense to me. Oh goody, right, so let's download Assassin Khabib and we will go ahead and train another one. Basically this one. So create new model. This would be Sharona V5. Well, it's okay. Sharona woman. That's the trigger and classifier I'm training, and then it's V5. Do you know what? I should probably just say A and keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, just go V5A. I'll rename these. I just automatically set it to 0 because it's like the beginning of a new, you know, a new thing. But technically there's already like a V4 and all, so. Okay, let's plug that bad boy in there. Sugar is... Sharona. You don't have to put the classifier in. I did test it and you can, I think you can put it in there, but it has more impact in the actual prompt, so in the actual caption. No auto captioning. Should we do 2,000 steps again? I feel like it's a great place to start for a new, and then you can reduce it if it's overtrained. I think that's a much better strategy than undertraining, because you think about it, right? If you go conservative on steps and you undertrain it, you'll have to retrain it with a higher step count. If you have a larger step count, there's a chance actually that it's fine. Do you know what I mean? There is a chance that actually it's fine and you don't need, you know what I mean? I always recommend retraining things anyway, so it kind of doesn't make any difference, but you know, the point is if it's overtrained, it's kind of more useful to you than if it's undertrained. If it's undertrained, you don't even know if it learned it. If it's overtrained, it's just less useful. So I also want to make my own version of this bloody thing, because technically it should be 3216, not 3232. So there's actually a way to improve this training, because it's currently doing it flat, and all the research says that you can go with the alpha a half of the rank. So 16 should be well, it should be 3216 bottom line. Anyway, 960. Cache my latents, baby. Let's go. Oh, what did I do wrong? This value may only contain... it's a capital V. Doesn't like the capital V. That's okay. That's alright. Off we go. Meanwhile, we've got a new LoRa to try out, so let's just grab that real quick. So grab that. Extract. Show me the things. So this will be WAN Assassin Carb. WAN Assassin Carb with 2 S's. WAN Assassin Carb style. It is a style, and it's a V0 because I've never trained it on WAN before. The windows are getting out of control again. I have to start deleting them. LoRa's, please, so you can see what's going on here. More windows. So LoRa's, AAA testing, take it all the way down to WAN. Paste it in there with the other 80 LoRa's. Oh, it's next one's starting up. We've got a little factory conveyor going here, guys. I'll have to throw some more on while the oven's hot. But yeah, basically, if we now get ourselves an image workflow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Aha. That image which I showed you earlier was made with Quen image. It's not bad for a Q8. I will say though, they say that it can be run at 10 steps, but then it loses the ability to spell. So I'd say 15 steps for, you know, this is pretty good. It followed the prompt perfectly. As for the actual image quality though, probably is going to need a little bit of restoration work because, like, you know, it does look a little bit strange. But maybe that's just the prompt. It's impressive though. That is quite impressive. It got all that. It nailed it. Yeah. So it's impressive. So let's just get that out of the way real quick. Bonus round before we go into coffee time. Don't worry about that. That's coming up later. We're doing a bit of Romeo and Juliet in writer's room later. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go into the workflows. And we don't have one, so that means it's going to be a brand new folder. Here's one that I made earlier. Where is it? Nope. Wait, nope. Ah, do you know what? I'm going to just close all my windows in a minute because none of them are what I'm looking for. So annoying. Workflows. That's probably a great place. There we go. Quen image. See what I mean? It's like you've already done it. So that comes with a basic image to image with extras. So my DJZ stuff. Basic image to image and basic text to image. So, you know, the basics for Quen image. And it's all GGUF running in Q8 for both the model and the clip. So that makes it coffee time. That part of the show where I don't really go anywhere, but we take it. Go grab yourself a drink if you need one. Gotta stay hydrated. Kind of funny though, coffee actually dehydrates you, but yeah, sure. Whatever your beverage is, make sure you stay hydrated. Did you know that if you, your brain shrinks a lot more than you think? Yeah, stay wet. That moment you realise you're just walking around with the ocean inside you. Stay salty, chaps. Yeah, dragon's got to keep the water down. Yeah, to keep the sugar down. Yeah, water time for dragon. I actually thought about changing it to water time at one point. It doesn't really have the same vibe. Maybe we should do ravioli time next, ravioli time. And all you can hear is the microwave. Alright, we're back. Welcome back, everyone. So I just decided to do a little sneak drop on my Quen workflows. I think there's actually more. I do have an image to video workflow to share. It's important to note that my enhancers use Claude Sonnet 4, but you can exchange that for Olama. So what I might do is put those modules in an example workflow real quick, because, it's easy to do when you've seen what it is. It's actually kind of interesting because it opens up the door for a whole lot more automation in Comfy UI. So, all that being said, let's get back into the show. And we are here. So what are we doing? We're training models. We've got new models. Obviously, we're not going to be running images with Quen right now. But I can tell you that is just a random output, guys. Yeah. So, that's fun. Do we got the upscaler? Yeah, there we go, we got the upscaler. Right, now where's that bloody Assassin Khabib model gone? He's in... I've got this all set up, by the way. You're doing it live. Where are we? Sharona V5, Cyber Volume V5, the Volume 2. No, it's going to be the downloads. There he is. Right, now this is going to be tricky. In fact, this might be a good point to... We're getting there. I know I'm speaking like in fractured tongues right now, but I will get back to my usual programming. So yeah, as you can see here, we've got our path for the Assassin Khabib. That's the model that we are training right now, okay? So in other words, or rather we've already trained and we're going to start running images on it in a minute. But what I'm going to do first is I am going to run an upscale on to 4K and just see how it comes out. Should all be good to go. 512, 512. I actually found that going to 256 or 128 made it a lot more stable at high res, so that's a nice little kicker. So on this workflow, we actually used the 2.1 Lightning and the 2.1 Fusion X. And they're loaded into model and clip. Okay, for better or worse. So this is going to be the WAN 2.2 T2v 814B low noise Q8 JUF. And we're going to be using the UMT5XXL encoder, also a Q8 JUF. Now, in case you're wondering what all this nonsense is down here, regulars will know because I put it in everything. But essentially, I run a little system to put images in, right? So you have your normal image loader, and then you have the load image batch, which comes in the WAS node suite. And the nice thing about this is, one, it gives us file name output. Now, I know you might think, why is that the first thing you're drawing my attention to? But if you're doing a restore job on a data set, you want the file names to be the same, okay? So that you can just copy the new files back in and they will still match the captions. You don't need to recaption. Obviously, this has got the same caption for every file, okay? So it's not really so much of a big deal for me, but it might be if you had spent a lot of time on the captioning. Because obviously the image isn't going to change, it's just going to be bigger. That's the theory. More pixels. But more to note about this workflow. So you put the path for the folder in, and then this controls which image is actually going to get loaded. So on increment mode with 11 images, I just type 11 or whatever it is for the back, yeah, and then you can just automate. Because we did this for dataset evolution, we were doing a bunch of LoRa stacking and doing LLMs on the input to look at the image and then choose from mutations and blend a different. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's see. We're using NAG because it's WAN. You can. We're using 1.5 shift and 0.15 denoise. So that's a little bit more creative. I recommend 0.1 and 1. 0.1 denoise and 1 shift for like a more faithful upscale. Because it does have like a creative and an upscale. You know, it's like a lot of upscalers. You know, you make it too powerful, it starts making faces everywhere. You know what I mean? Let's just return these to their regular programming because we've got a bunch of junk in here from my random previews. So, oh dear. Let me get rid of all these. Get it back to this lot. Did these last night. Abstract chaos model. Quite happy with it. While it's waiting, I need to do the next thing, so let's just close Olama down for now. Close it down. Oh, it's glitching. Oh good, it started. Right, so it's 4 steps to 4K. It does take a little while. But you can run it at 2K if you prefer. I've been trying to add more settings as well, actually. I think a 3072 option is not unreasonable. So it's like not 4K, but it's bigger than 2K, but it's smaller than 4. So it should be like a nice, I don't know, where does 372 fall in? I mean, it's obviously bigger than, it's actually, when you think about it, 3074, sorry, 3072 might be bigger than 4K when I think about it, because technically 4K is 2880 by 2880 at 1:1. So technically, because that's 1440 times 2 for those astute mathematicians among you. And we're trying to use 32 safe divisible numbers at the moment as well, just to make it a little bit more complicated. But this is why we made the nodes to automate the math, because really it's just a repetitive calculation task. That's what a lot of nodes are, is like, oh, I have to do a bit of extra work. Can we just make that a node and then I don't need to do it ever again? That's pretty much what's going on. Right, let's continue going through the stuff because we're doing all right. Where's the other thing? Let's put this back over here. What's that? That doesn't matter anymore. And then once this upscale is done, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want to investigate what does the result of this look like, because I could train on this instead. And then see the difference. It's a nice comparison. It's a fair experiment, right? So you take the original, train that, upscale the source images, retrain it with the same settings, same captions, but you upscaled the images. It's been proven in the past that this works, you know. SD 1.5, that's a lot of the data sets were upscaled for training. Sometimes the trainer even included an upscaler, and it wasn't even a very good one by modern standards. I'm starting to wonder, with all the improvements, yeah, so like upscaling's better, captioning is better, training is better, the models are bigger, so there's actually a lot of value right now in like unrealized value that's just waiting, you know, to be discovered, or you know, of going through old data sets. So everyone's all about new, but the thing is that the work's already been done, so you can come in a fraction of the time, go to the best data sets, take the images that you need, train on those with the more accurate captioning, and then train on the more powerful, higher resolution model. You put it all together, it's like 3 force multipliers. As long as you train a good model by the end of it, it's vastly superior in every way. So it goes beyond subjective. And I appreciate I'm playing my experimental AI videos on, like, we're not talking about this. I'm talking more about the let's see, I wish I could find like I've got too many examples right now. Do I have something which I can show you? No. See, what I need to do is get some photos. Photos are the best example, because when you see a human face, I've got some in there and I've shown them on the show yesterday and in the Discord, but it's the human face stuff. So like irises just are deeper and have more detail to them. You know, human eyes just look more natural. Skin just looks more natural. And you know what the funny thing is? I'm actually writing a new course for my students right now for the one-to-one coaching. And the irony is, and I kind of telegraphed this about a couple of weeks back, airbrushing. The AI is going to be so good, you're going to need to learn to airbrush, because there's going to be crow's feet, there's going to be pimples, there's going to be crazy vascular veins. And that's impressive, but half of the job is brushing that out. So you know what I mean? So you'll be able to get the most professional images, but now they're going to look too real, and you're going to have to start airbrushing like a professional photographer. And that's why I made an agent that will help you with those sorts of processes. You know what I mean? You plug it into Claude and ask it, how do I do this? How do I remove blemishes? How do I, yeah? And it'll teach you how to do frequency separation and various different pixel pushing techniques. But if you just want to get started, I recommend a channel called Pixel Imperfect, which is on YouTube. It's one of the best Photoshop tutorial sites you'll ever find, run by a friendly guy named Unmesh. And I'm sorry if I didn't say his name right, but the point is, he's got a cool name. Anyway, he'll teach you everything you need to know in like 1 minute or less. And but yeah, it's just interesting because, like I said, a year ago we didn't really need to know any of that stuff because it couldn't really do skin that well. Like, you had to go through extreme lengths to get good skin, but now we just get it for free. So it's a little bit like face restoration, you know, you just kind of get it for free. So let's have a look and see what it's done. Ooh, did a better job than Cascade. Maybe even Flux. See, Flux, when you do an upscale on this bit of the image here, see, a lot of these images have got like mini tests hidden inside them. I don't even know if you can see that on the stream, but there's a paper damage to the canvas. Okay, there's paper damage to the canvas here. Right? It's like a scuff, right? So, you know, and there's bits of the image which are like scuffed, you know, like the paint's been scraped off the canvas completely, yeah. And Flux and Cascade went crazy when they tried to process this sort of thing, you know. It would turn into like fractalized tree fingers, you know. So, like I said, there's a few secret tests hidden in some of these images. We're not just testing for, does it look like a skeleton guy with a sword? Yeah, it's kind of obvious. What we're looking for is, does it get, look, see, that's a brush stroke that missed, okay? There's like a few little features. This is one of the reasons why I like this data set so much. Because, you know, you could say that it's a sponge or a gouache type paper paint stroke, but there's a lot of things it could be, okay? Bit of random dithering. The actual guy himself, it still looks like it's like done in ink, you know, like an ink line art type drawing with maybe paint strokes and then inked, you know? So overall, going from, so this would be if I just used a done up scale to do it, you know, just like make it bigger in Photoshop. I always think it's important to compare the two, because sometimes it's not doing anything, frankly. Do you know what I mean? But when I test them with difference, you can clearly see that the denoise, even though it's small, it is making a difference. It's just very difficult to see it on screen. Basically look at the thumbnails. 1-to-1 crop is a good way, and also the swipe left and right is a good way to judge it. What I want is I want to see it not change. Kind of ironic, right? Okay. I'm happy with that. So, might consider doing that, you know, and then train on those rather than the original dataset images. Probably not a bad idea. So let's get that first image up on the screen and zoom in. It's actually changed quite a lot. Wow. Okay. Is that even the same image? No, it's not even the same image. There we go. I was going to say, compare apples with apples, Johnson. So let's just see. We move this along a bit. Get him. Move him along a bit. Turn this down to about there. And then there. Right. No, there we go. Virtually identical. There is a bit, I think there might be a little detail loss in smoothing, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all you've really got there. It's smoothed. Somewhere around there, isn't it? The background has better differentiation of brush separation. Yeah. I feel like it might have lost a bit of contrast as well. Sometimes a good thing to do is to throw it into Photoshop and like blast it with levels. And sometimes that can like reveal details that you can't always see immediately. But, you know, it's like, how meticulous do you want to be, you know? But yeah, anyway, like I said, I think it retains the style. It gives us extra detail, but not without, you know, it's not creating. It's honouring the original. for good, you know, for better or worse. It's like, yeah, it is like overkill to curate to that level. I know, but that's why I try to do all of that sort of level with a small set under control, so it can't be, you know, attributed to something else when you figure something out. Okay. So anyway, I can come back to upscaling more of these images. You know, it's just literally click, 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 and you know, so that's easy to do. Let me see if I've got another workflow. Waiting in the wings. Not there. Not there. Not there. Here. No. No. I swear to God, one of these days. Base. Oh my God. Right, that's it. I'm just going to... Right, no. I've had enough. Where is it? Hyperscale, hyperscale, hyperscale. Auto video. Moments, Dora. Up WAN. Okay. Okay, that's images. So throw him in here. Alright, wait. Damn it, that's an upscaler as well. Damn it. Sci 4K boosted. That's an upscaler as well. Blast. Confound it. Wait, is that actually? Hang on. Aha! Aha, faces. So guys, faces. This is at 195, wait. Okay, 195%. Okay. And that's generated as well. Do you know what I mean? It's pre-trained on a person, but it's trained. You know what I mean? It's a trained LoRa. And, you know, we could go all the way in here. We could go all the way in. And the thing is, by the time it starts to go blurry, it's like, what am I looking at here? You know, I wouldn't expect it to be that detailed, if you know what I mean. Like, the average photo wouldn't be this good anyway. And this is why I was talking about how, you know, for example, you're going to need to learn to airbrush, or you're going to dial those skin details back a bit, because there is such a thing as skin that looks a bit too good. Look at that chin. You know what I mean? It's almost like pimply, I guess. Not quite, but you know. Good colour on the lipstick, I thought. Maybe a little bit dry, the lips, but you know, they look very, very realistic. The hands as well. So this is a 3328 by 2496. And even look at that fingernail, guys. I'm just saying, like, this is that whole, you know, and they're like, oh, please provide Face ID. Which one do you want? But yeah, I mean, even the eyes, look at the reflections in the eyes. Look, there's a shape of curvature on the reflection there. Okay. We go to the other eye. The curvature matches the rim of the eyelid, dude. That's such an insane level of detail. You know, you might, I mean, can you even see a misshapen pupil there? Kind of difficult, really. I mean, there's even like a bit of matting there on the you know, from like what's it called, eyelash makeup or something, you know, a little bit of color. But yeah, I think that it might actually end up being a bit too detailed. This is what I was saying the other day. And so you're going to end up, like, on the best images you make, you're going to end up needing the airbrushing, because you're going to be like, oh, I don't want these pimples here. It's very easy to paint them out. It takes like seconds to do. Super simple skill that you can learn in 5 minutes and use for the rest of your life. So I recommend it. You know, airbrushing is like, and it's so easy now. There's like tools in Photoshop. You just click it. You got like healing brush for blemishes and stuff. It's all got AI built in. You know, we should have known. You know, we should have known that was what's going to happen. But and then for the more creative sort of projects, this is the same settings. My artwork was a complete mess. It was just a complete mess of noisy noise, and this almost makes sense of it now. You can almost see circuit boards and wires, which is what it's supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? It kind of tries to make sense of it in a way that Flux never could. Flux would just make either a larger thing or just wouldn't bother, which is fine. You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of, it's a bit crazy what I'm doing with this, because it is just like lots of noise. When you look at the original images, they're just it's just a crazy amount of noise in the shape of a person, and I've just gone cyber samurai, and then we've developed that over a long period of time. You end up with this sort of consistent look across all the designs. Here's another cool one, you know what I mean? But if you look at it, you can see that it's like, it's just a mess, really. But it's like a consistent mess. It has the same style. So I'm really happy with it. I love it. It's the sort of thing which would give a line artist a heart attack, because he'd look at it and go, you want me to what? I'll have nothing to do with it. Okay. So yeah, I need to just, it's going to take me hours to go through all of these, I swear. Because there's even the new Thora stuff, which is like, it's crazy. The new Thora stuff is like the most detailed. What's that? that's not even full res. That's 2048 by 1152. Because this was before I worked out it could go all the way. I think I had like a caching issue on my machine, so it was crashing, and I mistook that for being an oom. It wasn't an oom. It was a lack of hard drive space, and my page file was killing comfy, you know. So I just did a bit of cleaning up, restarted the computer, and boom, it's doing 4K every time. I don't even think, did we even get to that here? Thora 4K. And in fact, I think at this point I'm still doing 12 steps for everything, because we still hadn't worked out that you could do the images in 4 steps as well, because there's like diminishing returns. What does that mean? It means it takes forever and it didn't make any difference at this point. If you know, sometimes adding more steps can help, but other times adding more steps just takes longer, and the image didn't change at all. So if you made the image at like 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, and you looked at it in a big spectrum, you realize it's like, oh, hang on a minute, I've been doing like maybe double, triple the number of steps. But yeah, tripling or doubling the distilled count is like a legit thing that people do to get more quality, but it doesn't always work, and as we showed with this, it doesn't really work. Although I will say though, maybe we'll try that in the testing now. So let's just see. This is currently an upscaler workflow, right? But it can very easily be adapted. So let me just move some stuff here and show you. So if I just pull all this down here is now my text to image group, alright? And then I'm going to get an aspect size v2 and a Hun. I think we used a Hunyan 3D NT Latent still. Not 3D. We're talking about Hunyan 3D. Hunyan video empty latent. Can't really find the damn thing. Empty latent. ST3. Is it 3D? No. Bloody hell. Empty Hunyan latent. What? Why am I having a weird one here? Let me just grab some of these. So WAN. That's i2v. Damn it. T2v, T2v, i2i. Why can't I not find? I can't find the one thing I'm looking for. It's always the way. Come on. 122BT2i. Who sent me this one? Who sent this in? Someone sent this in. Did I ever look at it? Olama prompting. Whoever sent this in, good job. I just needed that. I just couldn't remember if it was the Hunyan latent or the... Alright, anyway. Someone's got too many tabs open. Where the hell did it go? There we go. Boom, we're back. So width and height, I'm going to give it... I'm going to go with 2048 actually. Let's go large. We'll put this one at the top there. Yeah, it could be yours, Dragon. Often I'll take things from... It could be Rune as well. Often I grab things from your submissions, because, yeah, why not? They're good workflows, use them. Right, 32. So, what are we doing? Empty latent, yeah? 1 frame. Okay, and then I want to add the new Laura. Assassin Carb. Is he even there? No. Hit R. And then of course I'm going to need a prompt. Now thankfully the prompts are all the same for this model, so I won't have to muck about, because I am being sent on a lot of wild goose chases tonight. let's just grab that prompt. There it is. Boom, there we go. I wonder if Robocop will run on my Steam Deck. What an invasive thought. So we go like that, boom, we got it, done. We're at 1 to 1, so let's do 3 to 2. Width raise. Probably change that to 256, that probably would have been smart. So we're not using that right now, we're using this one. Yeah, I was thinking about adding more dimensions, because it seems like, you know, when you go from 2048 to 40, so you go from 2048 to 4K, it's like an extra 1.5 times. It feels like there's nothing in between, you know. So I'm trying to find safe resolutions that aren't quite that big, so that when you come to do other upscale tasks, like less of a deal. I'm sure there are other safe resolutions. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one for every, like, if you were to imagine everything's on a 32 by 32 grid, every time you take away a column in a row, you know, because every time you want to shrink the aspect ratio, whatever it is, you imagine you have a grid, right? If you try to shrink it, you're potentially removing a column and a row, so that it comes down proportionally but keeps the aspect ratio. So it might be that there are actually safe resolutions. What the hell happened here? Don't worry guys, my denoise is too low. Came out like pizza. Gruel. Yeah, so like I was saying, it might be that there are safe resolutions, like all the way down, you know, taking away a 32 by 32 row and column off the total. So, you know what I mean? It might, because it's 16 to 9 and it fits in the grid. So it might be that there's actually loads of sizes that are safe to generate on, but we just don't know because they're kind of weird numbers. So I've been thinking about that lately. But yeah, let's see if we can get Assassin Carb to generate, shall we? Why is it taking so long? Oh shit, we never even added the LoRa. Well, that's okay, it'll give us something to compare it with. There we go. Move that guy up. I find 0.75, so we'll start off with 0.75. So that's what you get normally. We got 2 of them as well. Maybe I'm generating too large, guys. I'll take it down to 2.2. So now we'll do it with the LoRa. I also found out actually 6 steps was a bit better than 4. So like I say, it's always like, oh, does it actually? But the thing is, it wasn't really that though. It was actually not 4 steps. It wasn't 6. It was 2 sets of 3. So something which actually, yeah, this is something we need to try. We're going to do it now while I remember, because I'm terrible. I'll forget all about it. So let's see. Let's grab those. I got lost again. Eh? No. There we go, we're back. Plug in the thing. Plug in the thing. turn these off for a minute. It's the wrong one. Then it's the same at least. It's the same. Okay, it's 2-stage. I'm just curious, you know. I hope you understand what I'm testing here. The idea is like, you know, I've been doing a single sampler with the low noise. And I'm pretty sure that's right. I mean, look, see, we've got our guy. It's better than the original, contains all the original hallmarks. If I was to turn up the model thing now to 1, it might become even closer. And remember, we are making it quite wide as well. It's all trained at 1:1, I think. Can't remember. Look. Yeah, it's all trained at 1:1. Is there anything else I need to do to make this happen here? I don't think so. Technically, this is a text-to-image setup, so I don't know. I think that the denoise will be too high. Maybe. Let's give it a blast and find out. It can only make crazy noise, you know. But yeah, I just thought, like, this is my current video generation setup, so I thought, find out what happens when we, because as you can see, you know, 6 divided into 2 sets of 3, technically it's 3 steps and 3 steps. So even though it's 6, it's not really more than 4, technically. So, like, it is and it isn't at the same time. So let's see what it does. Different seed, mind you guys. I don't think I fixed the seed. So it's learned this mottled background. That is a oh my goodness me. And you know what, guys? The trick worked. Okay, let me just he has a solidified blood sword somehow. Let me just see if I can find that image. Now, remember, we overtrained this. Okay, 2,000 steps for 10 images is way too much. But yeah, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? And the interesting thing is, right, there's bits of every swordsman in our inference is the combination of learning of all the samples. So that means that when you have some differences between the samples, look, see this one here, it's this image, right? But if we look around, there'll be elements of the other images in the image. Like, that's the, he's trying to hold the sword like flipped, same. And this one too. Look, no shoulder pads. You know, there's a lot of differences. No shoulder pads. There's a lot of differences between the examples. That almost looks like Venom Punisher or something. You know, it's like, doesn't even look like. But there's a lot of different things going on. But what it does is it's learned all the things and put them into one. You know, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's what happens when you train a load of different images with one single caption. Because I've said, what I just typed is this, and then you give it like 10 examples, go 2,000 steps. What it creates is something new, which is a combination of all those influences. I know it sounds like what I'm saying is like obvious and maybe repetitive, but I'm literally teaching you how to make a sandwich that no one's ever eaten, you know, because you can take the influences from many different, you know, right now I'm using skeleton guy, but you could be blending various different aspects. It could be H.R. Geiger mixed with Jodorowsky's concept work for June that never got made. And you could train that together as Goflarg, and now whatever you apply that to will dose up the image with those influences or whatever it learned. Obviously, your mileage varies dependent by your captioning, and this is why I encourage all my students to do multiple runs. Always be coming up with new ideas to caption, new ways of describing, because it's by no means solved. Furnicar says, talking about what it looks like, there is an element they don't have commonly but is associated with skulls because of the Ghost Rider. Bear with me, will you add chains? Yeah, for real though, it's true. It does kind of, it's got, because the Ghost Rider has flaming skull. So like if I was to type in flaming skull, am I going to get Ghost Rider? And the answer is probably yeah. So if I say assassin, look, I'm just going to say flaming skull. And then what I do next is I retrain it with less steps until it doesn't work. Right? Then I'll try changing up the what the heck? Oh, it's still making It's alright, it's only dumb. It's only a dummy. Interesting. Isn't flame coming from one eye of a skull like an internet meme thing? Isn't there a video game? But it's blue flame. I think it's an indie video game. But you can see the cloak. He doesn't have his flaming hair though. That's interesting. And it's going to make another one for us as well. I already queued it. He says expectantly. Oh, sure, I forgot. Oh no, it worked. Oh no, it's even better. Oh no, I've done it again. No, I thought I was finished with this damn image model. No. I'm stuck in image mode, guys. I can't believe this. So it turns out this works too. Right, we're going to put the new lightning on and... Oh boy. Oh boy. It worked. Why hasn't it changed this one though? Oh, it's about to. Okay, so now we've got to do another one. Right, okay, so I thought I was done with this whole, like, WAN video model. I was going to make a big video about this for the main channel, and I'm glad I didn't, because it turns out all my workflows are just one way of doing it, and we've just found another way of doing it that's potentially even better. It's going to take a bit more tweaking. Because I don't know what the proper settings are. Oh no. Oh no, it's brutal. Okay, hang on a minute. We need to do some more stuff just to be able to compare this. Damn it. Why do I always keep discovering stuff? Come on, where is it? Seed. Oh, we've already got a seed, right. We'll just use that one. Seed in there, and another seed in there. Unreal. So, to set up I have... Wow. But which one do I prefer? It's tough. Ooh, it's a tough one. I mean, they're not on the same seed, so I'm going to try and get them on the same seed. Will the Templar keyword in the negative help? Maybe. I've never tried putting Templar in the thing. Let me try it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there, so it might not listen to me. I've never tried that word before. So we got my old technique, which all my workflows use, on the right, and then just using the video for, just using the video workflow. So you see a lot of workflows using the one on the left. So just wait for the other one to come out. That's interesting. It's hard to say if one of them is better than the other yet, but I would say it's probably going to be, because the thing is, the one on the right is using the old Lightning, whereas the one on the left is using the new Lightning. That's pretty much the only, aside from the difference, it's using a high noise, low noise handover. Higher tension would be strength 1. Oh yeah, I know. I'm still looking at other stuff at the moment. See, do you see what I mean? No. Let's just wait, because I'm not convinced it's finished. Yeah, it's still running. Okay. I just want to know I'm comparing apples with apples. Templar 1 nod 6 negative. What? You're speaking in tongues right now. Black Rock Shooter. I don't know what that is. Is it a video game? Sorry guys, I'm being ignorant. You can obviously turn up the LoRa strength as well, but I'm not too fussed about that, because when you think about it, I'm not like a die-hard purist when it comes to the style of the art. When I look at it on the right, the one on the right, oh, okay, now they're apples and apples. Okay, so straight away, there is a problem on the left, because the image on the left doesn't make sense. Can we do another one? Have we got it on fixed seed? Let me just check it real quick. What we got? Increment. It's on increment. Okay. So give me the next seed then, because I want to see if it's constantly breaking the. You see that? That's like an old model issue. That is. Surprised it didn't just make 2 swords. So like some of the details are better, and it is quite faithful. You remember when we zoomed in on the source images, right? It is quite faithful, I think. Yes, the details are more, they've been cleaned up, you know what I mean, is the best way I can describe it. But we did have ornate swords, which we weren't able to make before. The anatomy is brilliant. This anatomy is stunning. I've not seen that level of anatomy before. Normally it would all be covered up with just anything covered up with anything. Obviously that's supposed to be the back of that, so that's a mistake. But the hair looks good. We've got the swirl marks and everything from the fake painting, I guess you'd call it, painterly style. The line art's good contrast, good edging, good light, all it's very good. But this side, see, the interesting thing is, right, if you're just running the low, you only need the low noise. You see what I mean? Low noise, 4 steps, happy days. Up to 4K, no problem. But with this model, we're doing high noise Lightning 2.0, low noise 1.0, 5 shift on the both sides. Do you know what, guys? I'm super tempted to do something silly. Call it an experiment. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. It probably won't work. Normally I do this with aura sampling flux. So there's something called aura sampling flux, right? And I often replace the shift. Now this probably won't work, but it's worth a blast. Where's that bloody resize? Ah, yeah, there it is. It might help, you see. If it works, it might just break. I've not tried it before. So they actually wanted to use five shift. My God. Should we go from 1 to 5? That's insane. We should probably just put 5 and 5 there. But for the sake of experimentations, okay, let's give it another blast. Because to be honest, the one on the left actually looks good. They both look good, you know? You know, we've got a bit of blood on the sword as well. You see what I mean? Red hair, because remember, the sword has... Remember, he's got red hair. And then in the caption, his sword also has red hair, right? This is amazing. What's the Laura trained on? We've been going through it over this stream. My data set, this is a test data set that I've been using for many years. I released it last year for anybody to use. It's on my GitHub. It's called Assassin Carb 1024. It's 11 images. They all have the exact same caption. And the idea is to see what it can learn from purely steps. Because obviously better captioning, less steps. More accurate captioning, less steps, you know what I mean? So this is overtrained as hell. But here are the images. Okay. And every single image is captioned with the exact same thing. It doesn't use a number, letter, whatever. It uses just Assassin Carb as one word. That's K-A-H-B, which doesn't technically spell anything, but you know. And there's a lot of different like micro tests going on inside these, like the ability for it to learn these strange artifacts which don't really make any sense and aren't even captioned. Also like the swirling patterns, because it's essentially supposed to be like blood. It's supposed to be ink, you know, ink spills and ink smears making up this skeletal assassin character on like a parchment which is kind of scuffed and sometimes even damaged. These were made many years ago. I forget what they were made with now. It might have been an early Mid-Journey. It may have been an early Mid-Journey version. I forget now. But I used it to train SD 1.5, 2.1, SDXL, Flux, and now WAN. So that's what do you call it? The lineage. So, and as you can see here, we're just doing a little bit of a test because the indication, you know, WAN 2.2, T2v, A14B, low noise, Q8 is what we're using, alright? It's really interesting now, isn't it, I think about it. We're not even using the high noise model. Okay, so anyway, we're also using UMT5 XXL encoder in the Q8. And if I take this over here, we're using the LoRa that we trained at 1.0. We're using the 2.1 Litex, okay, and then with 2.1 Fusion X as LoRa, all in with clip, model and clip. We're also using WAN video NAG at 5. And then we're just literally going to go empty Hunyan latent with 1 frame. I'm using my aspect size to calculate the best safe res for the gen. There's a load of math going on in the node. And like I say, the first image we get back is this one. So this is how we've been doing it. 4 steps, 1.0 EULA beta. And that's a simple way of doing it, do you know what I mean? Just one step, 4 steps. And I think it comes out really nice. I mean, if we take a look at the... That's a different project we did earlier. If we take a look at the image... Can I find the exact image that is? Because there's so few of them. I mean, it's kind of like that one, but it's kind of like that one, and it's kind of like that one, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. If you can't see what I'm talking about, there's the. So there's like features there which you see, like there. But it's like an amalgamation of all the features averaged out, you know. So like you can see it a little bit in the pose there. There's almost nothing there but the scarf and the hair. That one in the... Wait, I swear there was one that had a sword design that was like the one we just saw. Is that the sword? No? Yeah. The edges, it's kind of learned the edges. Yeah, there as well, look, it's not quite as extreme though. Like I say, it averages them out, you know. Anyway, so that's the traditional one. You know, as in, you just use one sampler, 4 steps, happy days, 1.0. But with WAN, they're actually generated like this. Now, the funny thing is, I'm using the high noise lightning LoRa at 2. This is an exact carbon copy of how I generate the video. And yeah, we recommend EULA beta. I got it from the, they said to do it on the WAN. You know, if you look in the documentation, they recommend this and something else. I think the other one was like either multi-step or some other, was it res multi-step? Yeah, res multi-step with something else, or EULA beta. A lot of the LoRa's as well, a lot of the lightning people, they're like, yeah, EULA beta, 4 steps, 1 CFG. So we're just using what's recommended. The only thing I changed was, and this is the funny thing, Kijai actually did the exact same thing, I only noticed recently, but instead of doing 4 steps with a handover at 2, I found that doing 6 steps with a handover at 3 was beneficial. But if you use Kijai's workflows, you're probably already doing it because he put them in his latest, you know, his latest WAN workflows use that setup. Yeah, I use SGM Uniform with, you know, what was it? Most SGM Uniform I used with 2.1. So a lot of my workflows were EULA SGM for 2.1. With 2.2 it's a bit different. I don't know if it's the lightning that does that or if it's the fine-tuning. The reality is, we've showed this before, there's probably about 8 or 9 out of all those samplers that will work really well, but it's sometimes is situational. So I'm just like, look, just use the one which you like, you know, because it's such a subjective thing at the end of the day. If it looks good to you, it looks good, you know. That's the way I rationalize it. Nothing else really matters. If it looks good to you, that's all that matters. But yeah, so as you can see here, so we're getting this. These are all same seed. So we get this image out of the single sampler method, which is pretty good. I like that. And then we get this one out of the dual sampler method, which is also pretty good. It's about this. I think, do you know what? I'm thinking that you get a little bit more detail here, but I can't really prove that. Oh, yeah, so that didn't work. It's always worth trying stuff, guys. Don't be afraid. Plug things in. It didn't crash, it just made a crappy image, which is fine. That's fine by me. So I don't really know what the best one is now. Ooh, this is a tricky one, guys. I don't really know. See, I thought we'd solved it. Do you know what I mean? I thought we'd solved the riddle. But as it turns out, the plot thickens, because, you know, that means there's like a whole other way of doing it. two-stage. It's kind of funny because, like I said, you know, I was literally on the edge of making the video and being like, here's all the workflows, you know, and it actually turns out there's way more. There's way more. There's way more to do. Just when I thought I'd solved it. Damn. Zeus says, I use samplers as a joker. When I like an output, but it lacks something, I keep the seed and try a different sample scheduler. Yeah. That'll work. 100%. You know, it's all about reversing the algorithm that made the noise. So the only reason some samplers work better than others is probably because of the way it was trained. So somebody chose a particular sampler, and or when they were doing their testing, they found out that's the best one. Gaslight LoRa technique, if I remember correctly, meaning that the text is the training set. Yes, pretty much. But there is an element to it. You know what I mean? There is an element to it. But yeah, pretty much. It's all about the captions. Which is why, like I said, it's a wonder that it gets anywhere near what you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't really, well, it does train the images a little bit, but it's not really adding new, it doesn't add new learning. It analyzes the images and then learns the difference between what it thinks and what it knows and what you're trying to teach it. But to be honest, like, making those sorts of statements kind of has a shelf limit, because the generalizations only work for what has come before, and what comes after might change that picture. So while I do like to say these sorts of things, I have to kind of put a note at the bottom of the page saying, you know, circa August 2025, because tomorrow they could bring out something which completely turns that on its head. So that's the nature of AI as well. It's a very fluid beast. You know, one day it might look one way, the next day it might have an additional arm, and then you can't really, you know, make the same generalizations. But I actually kind of like that. It keeps it fresh. It reminds me of the old console wars, when there was like a new games console coming out every 10 minutes. It feels a little bit like that. I know it wasn't really like that, but that was the perception. You know, we were all like, oh, what's the next? Oh, the next Nintendo or the next PlayStation. Like, it's kind of slowed down now. Do you know what I mean? They've figured out, oh, we can drip out. We can make lots of money if we just don't just drag it out. But AI is still cutting edge, so we're not seeing that sort of slowdown. And if you ask me, the slowdown isn't usually because of a technical wall. They've already got the next PlayStation on the shelf. They've already made it. Do you know what I mean? And they'll be like, well, because the thing is, the developers get it early for a start. So, or they get a dev kit early, you know what I mean? So it's not like, oh, it just came out. No, they probably had it for a year or two at least, in some form. And like I said, the technology for like the next one after that is probably already solved. And yeah, it's nice to see AI has got that crazy accelerationism still in him. See, have we got that other model finished? Because I would like to check that out. Yeah, we do. All right, I'm gonna be lazy so we can just get straight to the LoRa. Normally I'd like go and make the caption list and blah 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 blah. We won't do that. That'll probably bite me in the ass when I forget all about it later. But can I get a download? Extract. Yes. Okay, let's close some of these bloody windows. They're everywhere. In here. Let's just grab that. Rename that. Copy it. Where's the... Just kill windows, man. There's too many windows. This one. This one. Oh, I gotta leave that open. Boom. Sharona woman. It's done. That's an upscaler. Hey, what? Yeah, that'll do. Where's my data set? Well, it's not there, is it? Don't be silly. What's this? Okay, that should be an easy one. Right, I got a prompt. Put it in. Got the tag. Did I type it with the bloody 4? Yeah, I did, didn't I? There we go. Sharona 5A. There we go. And go. It's a little bit longer than I thought, but we're there. So let's just see how that one trained. So that one had a few more images, but I will point out that what we're training on now is we're training on random upscale variations that I got out of WAN from loading image to image with Flux. So created a bunch of different models in Flux, eventually got it to a consistent character, trained, and then used that LoRa that was trained to generate images, which then went image to image in WAN. I think using the same so I've trained the same LoRa on Flux and WAN. This is so silly. Do you know what? Is it still Sharona? Yes. She's looking a bit yellower than usual. But aside from color correction issues, it's the same character. I think we can say that's the same character, can't we? Do you reckon? What about the outfit? Do you know what? That's perfect. Like, do you know what I mean? What does the alt look like? Oh, the alt's a bit crazy. But then again, I just realised something. We're doing the handover with the wrong bloody thing. We're using the high noise LoRa there on 2. Let's propose a slight modification here to use the low noise instead. Run it one more time. So remember, it's a seed variation with a different aspect ratio, so it won't be identical. But I think we could agree there that it's the same character in the same outfit. This has got nicer coloration, but it might just be trying to reflect off of her clothes. I don't know. This is 1728 by 1408, and this is 1888 by 1280. What? I think they're about the same then. Yeah, it's just a different aspect ratio. Fernicar says, let's not be picky. Lara Croft had way more variations deemed as not the same than we could imagine. Sharona is the same under that standard. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you're correct actually, because think about how many times they've redrawn Goku. You know, over the years he's changed a lot, but we all recognize, you know, like in the case of this character, it's funny, it's got the same color scheme. In the case of this character, we've got the orange outfit, and there's things about it. You got the patch on the shoulder, you got the scarf around the neck, the way that the blouse has the black liner, the belt, the bits of metal hanging off the belt, not metal, leather I mean, the leg bands, which I guess are for holding tools and whatnot. The glove sometimes splits, but it should be in like a wrist warmer type thing. Same with the legs, they're leg warmers. Do you know what I mean? They're not supposed to be fur boots or trousers. They're like giant fluffy socks. You know what I mean? Giant fluffy socks. No staff on the right. But the thing that has impressed me, look, it's learned the identity of that character, like, nailed. So if the face is the same in your training data, it will learn the ID. You don't need, like, you know, you don't need all this extra tech. Obviously, when you start doing, like, multiple people, you know, that's its own thing, in my opinion. That's its own challenge. Like, you wouldn't go about making two people the same way. You'd make changes to the workflow. Otherwise, you're just going to get two Sharonas, aren't you? You know what I mean? But the way that generally you do it is you apply noise from one LoRa to one half of the screen, and then apply noise from a different LoRa to the other side of the screen, and then usually you get the two characters. Usually. But you know, there's many ways to do that. I'm not looking at that right now. She's got her staff back and her gloves are fixed, so we can put that down to the bad seed. So yeah, this is actually really good. Let's try a different prompt. So how about something a little bit, yeah, that'll be a good one. Try that one. Normally I'd have like a prompt engine running, you know. We forgot to make the module. Damn, let me write that down. Llama open router module. So that would be like a thing that you can just drop into any workflow, and it will basically give you like a, you know how there's all these like prompt enhancer type setups. You can do that in workflow in seconds. You know, if you want to pay for API, you can use all the big models with OpenRouter, and if you don't want to pay, you can use Ollama, which will run the model on your local machine. I actually prefer Ollama, guys. You don't need Sonnet to run. Do you know what I mean? It's privacy as well. Like, you're not just sending everything to third party, you know. Look at those hands. That's crazy. Okay, the teeth are a bit weird, but look, guys, the faces weren't the best. Maybe I missed some info, but can you do a quick explanation of how you train the characters? Man, I tell you what, Don, because I'm about to finish, but there's nowhere near enough time to explain that. But all I can say is that it's a foolproof methodology, right? And I do explain it in detail on the various model pages that I have on my Civet AI account. Now, I can't log into it, so I can't even get the link for you anymore. But it does still exist. But if you're in the UK, you won't be able to access it either, like me. All I can say is iterative retrains. So the first model was a concept. We trained the concept art. We used that to further refine and improve and generate better samples for the second data set, which we then recaptioned and retrained until we pulled out some images that were training bad stuff. And then finally I got the best faces for the character, made a face model, did a face swap pass on the data set. So we're editing the data set itself, you know, we're doing work on the data set. So we already know we've got a good selection of images. you know, wide set of poses, consistent outfit, you know, and you kind of like retraining and reproducing images over and over again, and retagging them and retraining them until eventually it's like her outfit is 100% now. It is consistent, it's the same style, it looks like that every time. And then, like I said, the last thing to do is the face, because the face will still be kind of all over the place. So then what I do the face swapping, and I get the best of the best of the best images and train that. And then what we did was we actually trained that onto WAN, generated a whole bunch of new images off of the captions. So it's essentially we're just continuously retraining and recaptioning and retraining and recaptioning. And then we get to this. So the best images I had, like 30 or 40 images from WAN 4K. And then bang, we've retrained it today. It took about 40 minutes and now we've got like a really good, it should be really dynamic as well. And I will point out this character here, we've written 2 books on the live show. So there's like a story of Sharona. She's got an origin story. She's got a whole thing. We're going to do the trilogy soon. Like the 3rd book in the series is going to get written. And so the irony is that the character art was done using an extraction from the 1st book. So we did it the other way around. You know, normally I do the art and then write the book. But this time we wrote the book and then did the art. So we did it backwards. But I'm really happy with her. She's coming out great. I recommend WAN for image work. It's brilliant. A lot of people don't even know it can do it. So yeah, don't miss. And then look at that for the second. Still good. She's missing her gloves though. She looks cold. She looks unprotected right here. She looks so vulnerable without her bangle furs or whatever you want to call them, you know. That's crazy how different she looks when they're missing. But she might have taken them off, you know. No problemo. So yeah, when we did the low noise, that actually was a bit nicer, I think. So we're doing more steps on this side. Still 1888 by 1280. I'm going to do one more because I want to see if I can generate. Let's go up. No, maybe might be 2 more, guys. Might be 2 more. Yeah, let's do that. I want to see what happens when we push it. Okay, because right now we're doing WAN 22 setting, which is 1536 by 1536. Don says, okay, cool. Thanks. You're doing doing an amazing work, and thanks for the chill streams. By the way, is your username on Civitai the same as here? No. I am not Scuffed Epoch on Civitai. I am Drift Johnson. I would show you, but I'd have to charge. Let me just see if I can even look. Ready? User Drift Johnson. User Drift. Yeah, Drift Johnson. Oh no! She's scratching her back, guys. Don't worry. But no, the one on the right looks great. I mean, do you know what? Like, here's the funny thing about this, guys. I don't care when this happens because 25, 28, 1696. Okay, I can just crop it down here. I can get a vertical out of this and just get the best one. This looks great. And then meanwhile, it hasn't finished. For a minute there, I thought that it was better at doing high res. We'll find out in a minute. Because of course, we've got 2 different techniques. There may be some advantage. We'll probably just do the same thing though, let's be honest. Don says, I'm in Sweden, so I can look that up. Thanks. Yeah, there's hundreds of models on there. All my workflows go onto my GitHub, so luckily that's not been affected. But then again, so my Scuffed Epoch GitHub got shadow banned again, but I haven't commented on it. Not aside from just now, because interesting. it's kind of made the same picture twice, but with a slight rotation. So we've got the same character, slightly different angle, and her bangles. Look, it's so funny because the attention is split among two people. So some of the stuff is weaker, so no clothing item, or a smaller clothing item. Same with the skirt, it's gotten smaller, things like that. I love this, but she's got such crazy belt. I don't even know what it's for. So it's now doing the 4K, so no time to wait. It's gonna look bad because it's already doing stupid stuff. But yeah, it looks like the WAN setting, which is my 1536 by 1536 base, that's gonna be, I think, what you want to leave it on. I usually do 3 to 2, 4 to 5, or 16 to 9, usually. But I also think 2 to 1 is fun, if you can make it work. Because often when you go too wide, you'll get stuff like this. Although I will say, there's something about my nodes which maybe I forgot to tell everyone. Because of the way that this works, it does the math to genuinely try and find you the best safe res. Now, obviously, different models, different results, you know, like I say, mileage may vary, right? But how do I explain this in a simple way? How about we just do 5 to 1? How about we just do 5 to 1 or 4 to 1 at 2048 by 2048. How about we do that? I think I might have to stop this 4K run. It's not gonna look good anyway. You know that. Seems to be getting stuck. So yeah, what I was wanting to show you, even though we're coming down to the line, look, and now it's not listening. It always does this right in the last 5 minutes of the show. I've got like the last thing on the list, and it's going. Help! He says, help! Help! Abuse! Computer abuse! He's doing it again. Yeah, my computer's not very happy right now. He doesn't like being stopped in the middle of a job. I can relate. But yeah, we're essentially waiting for it to stop, and then, hey, there it goes. It got stuck with that last job, guys. So anyway, what am I doing now? Cascade is 2048 by 2048. So what is 4 to 1 at 2048 by 2048? You'll see what I mean in a minute. And it's very useful for making wallpapers, banners, column type backgrounds, anything with extreme res, like extreme AR. I mean, like not. I mean, you could put 10 to 1 if you want. Okay, so for example, I'm making a website where I want to promote my book. I put the title of the book just here, and this is like my banner. Maybe I might outpaint a little bit just to, you know, to balance it out, you know what I mean, or maybe even just crop the end off actually. But yeah, you can see here that 4096 by 1024. So, you know, you want to get your, you know, banners. See, it's the exact image that we prompted. I mean, yeah. Because this is the thing, it finds the most safe. So remember, 4 to 1, it was 1000 high at this res, right? So if I go up to 4K, but I say 8 to 1, wait, no, 6 to 1 maybe. It's probably about 6 to 1. This might just break, by the way, so prepare yourselves. Oh, it's still making it. Well, hang on a minute, let me just think about that. So we went from 2048 to 26. It's about an extra half. No, it's not even that. So I think Yeah, it's probably 6 to 1. We'll see. 6 to 1. 6 to 1 aspect ratio, guys, for all my new videos. You're like watching it on YouTube, like you're looking through a letterbox. I kind of like that. Oh, we get 3 of them here. And like I said, if your plan is to chop them out afterwards with cropping, you know, you've just generated 3 Thoras. Yeah? 3 identical Thoras. You know how people are always on about, how do I get 2 poses? You know, I want 2 poses that are identical, please. You see what I mean? It's like, this is one of the things you can do. She will be the same in all, you know. So, yeah, let's go for the next one then. Now, hopefully it doesn't explode, because you can take the mick out of this. Like, you know, you can put in any number you want, really, can't you? And it will just continue to try and do it. But 4 to 1 at 4K is pretty obvious, because obviously it gives you 4096 by 1024. Yeah? That makes sense. But it's based on 2880 by 2880, actually. So, like, if I do 2880 divided by 6, it starts to get messy. Let's see if we're gonna. This might be the end of the road, guys. Oh. Okay, it's still we haven't broken it yet. Now, how do I even know this? Part of the reason I made aspect size was because I was making side-scrolling assets for background side-scrolling video games, and I had to solve that for a client. And this is how I solved it. But that was 2 years ago, so I think I'm okay to share it. It's like 2 years ago? Maybe a year and a half. But yeah, you know, that was the solution, was to treat every image like a grid, and then you can pretty much do anything you want. You can do anything you want, because we could go down to 480, remember. It'll still make good images at 480 on the height. So, you know, you could go to 8 by 1. You know, if you wanted, and then it'll be, you know, 8192 by 512, and I think that's the limit, because Comfy, you have to go and edit a file to go over 8192, and I don't see the point, so I haven't done that. But that's why I said 6, not 8. Oh crap, he said as he realised. Nope, you typed 8, buddy. Alright, well, let's hope it doesn't explode. The question is, how many Sharonas will we get? Will we get 4? Oh. And also, this is the other reason why I added even more sizes, even though I know that you can't even get to. So, like, there's an 8K setting. Even though we can't get there yet, there's an 8K setting. But here's the thing. 8K at what resolution? You see what I mean? 8K at what resolution? 8K at 10 to 1. You see? And then, because if 8K at 10 to 1 would make every image less than 1,000 pixels high, I think. I'll have to double check that, but yeah. Check it out! No way! So we got 7072 by 1184. We've got some weirdness going on in the background. A few hands and belts in the air there. But yeah, 7072 by 1184. Let's check out the character. She looks good. She looks good. Are they identical? No, it's a slightly different pose each time. It's a slightly different pose. Oh, her hand is, she's doing like a robot punch of some kind. I think it tried to make a 5th one here and got confused. She seems to be missing an arm there. But anyway, like I said, it's something else you can have fun with, you know. So we got 7000 by 1100 there. And like I said, this can get, you know what I mean, because this was for patterns. I was doing it for patterns and things like that, patterns and backgrounds, right? So not necessarily people, but this is what it does. You know, it'll make a bunch of people. If we change the prompt, it'll change to that image instead. Let's see if we can get a good one. Oh yeah, this will be a good one. Right, let's do this. One more. We do one more. I reckon we could actually do more than 8 by 1. Do 10 by 1. But then it will be more than 8,192, see? So we're contending with the limits of comfy without making mods. So I don't want to be, you know, doing that. So I'll leave it on 8 to 1. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I just had a wicked idea. Hold up. Right, it's time to oom. Oom or go home trying. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, why not? 8K at 16 to 1. That should be a extreme challenge. I don't. It deserves to explode, guys. Let's see what it does. One more for the road, yeah? Move it down a bit. Bring that into the focus while we wait. Right. Furnicar says, kudos to the tech that increased the quality level as he was iterating. Yeah, well, I'll be honest, I bet on the future. Because if you're an optimist and you believe in a positive outcome, this was inevitable. And I would say you can further bank on this too. So, you know, we could, for example, take this to another level and say, am I even looking at the right thing right now? I hope I am. So you could take this to another level and say, the next image model will be 2048 by 2048 base. And on that, with that assumption, yeah, I will go ahead and I will recraft all my data sets into a 2048 by 2048 base minimum. I'm actually going to aim for 4K. I want all 4K. I want all my style data in 4K. But I want to do it in a way that doesn't change it. So it has to be bigger, but not different. And that's a tall order, because you have to walk a fine line between restoration and faithfulness to the original artwork. That's a tough one. It's not so easy, because it's literally like two sides of the same knife, and you gotta tiptoe down the sharp edge. But I do think that video models will get bigger. I think they'll get easier to run, and I think you'll have to have your data sets ready for training. And so if your images are big, like, it's easy to shrink images down, but if your images are bigger, then when the new models come out, this is what I do every time. My models are always ready because I already made them bigger. Like, I kind of look and I go, oh, you know. In SD 2.1 I was training 1024 on 768, and on Flux we were training 1280 immediately, and then WAN is 1536, we trained it with 2048, and then using WAN most likely I'll bump everything up to 4K standard, because like I said, these image models that we have currently, they're all, well, with the exception of Quen Image, which is like 1328, which is another, that's a whole other discussion. Like, why is it 1328? Claude! Reinstalled our buns earlier. Okay. A new image model has arrived. It used a 1328 by 1328 base. I think it's 1328. Is it 1328 or is it 1336? God damn it. Huh? Aha! 1328. Yes, it's 1328. Why? I'm getting really lazy with these prompts lately. It's actually 1328. Do you think it's 1536 base, do you? That would make sense if it was, because WAN is a 1536 base, but it's a video model, and technically it's actually 720p. So it's like, what? So let's have a look. Oh, he's even reading the GitHub, guys. Look at this. Guys, anyone that says that the AI doesn't know because it can't look it up is just not in the loop. Look at it. I'm not even using deep research. This is just a normal search. Oh, it was released in August 2025. It being August the 17th right now. Isn't that amazing? We're 17 days in and it's like, oh yeah, I know all about that. Training cutoffs are like basically a thing of the past for most. You know, there are some nuances, you know, but... here we go. It used a multi-training approach that progressively scales from 256, then to 640, and then finally reaches 1328. This allows the model to learn fundamental features at low res, gradually capture more detailed features as resolution increases, and achieve better generalization through this curriculum learning approach. The model supports various aspect ratios, 1328 as a square base, along with other resolutions, 1664 by 928. Just so you know, guys, the next aspect size node will have a 1328 by 1328 setting, which I think is called Quen, and it will do all of this nonsense for you, so you don't have to can remember all these stupid numbers. What am I, a robot? Anyway, 1328 base dimension provides a sweet spot that 256 to 1328p. Okay, yeah, cool. So cool, man. But I will point out though that when I did my image to image investigations, I found that it wasn't very good. So I kept on working on it, and it still wasn't very good. But I don't care about that. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. It's like I said, the more the merrier. And also, this is their first release, so you know, I would prefer to be disappointed by a first release, because then they got room for improvement. If they blow us out the water, there's no need for them to update it. So I don't know. I think Flux has a risk of that, like being considered the king and sitting on its laurels for so long that he kind of gets fat and long in the teeth, and then some young upshot will come along and spear him off the throne. So yeah, I hope that they release their video model soon up at Flux. But anyway, I did make the images much bigger. See, 1952 by 1088. So I was using the 1440p, not the 1328, just for experiments to see what would happen. And the detail was a little bit better, coherency was a little bit better. It doesn't beat WAN, it doesn't beat Flux, but it's pretty good. And also, we haven't trained yet. A lot of the time these models come to life when you actually train, because right now we're fighting with the base model knowledge, which might be completely bereft of anything even close to what I'm doing, you know. Obviously, if I train it, that won't be the case. So there is a sort of onus placed on us to fix some of this stuff. You know, you can't really just sit there and go, oh, well, it's crap. And like, did you train it? No. Well, then, it was a base model. What did you expect? You know, there is a sort of element of that there. Okay. Guys, I don't think this is going to be finishing anytime soon. In fact, it may never start. I did take the piss. You know, 8K at 10 to 1. What does... No, 16 to 1. What does that even mean? Hang on. I need to just work this out. So let's see, we had 2880 times 2880. So that's the total pixels. So if we divide that by 16. Wait, no, is that even right? Oh, wait, I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, I'm doing that completely wrong. So 2880, 2880 is 8.2 million. Yeah. I'm doing this completely wrong. Oh dear. 16:1 aspect ratio. I mean, you might say, let's say 512 times 16, just get a rough guesstimate. Gets to 23. So that's not enough. So 768 times 16. That's, I mean, it could be 12,000 by, hang on, so that times 768. No, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near. So it'd be bigger than that. Oh my god. Wait. So what about our friend 14,400 times that by 768? Man, so it's going to be bigger than that, even still. So what, 28,800? So 28,880 times 768. Still nowhere near. See, we're aiming for like 30-something million. So hang on, 2880 times 1024. So that means it's 2880 wide, but 1024 tall. Wait, I screwed up. Is it like 28,800? Yeah, it's 28,800. Yeah. So times that by 1024. Oh, it's close. That's an insane. So it would be like you know, like the wallpapers that you get that go around the room. They're like really thin and they go around the middle of the room, you know, on the wall. So it's a strip. It's like that, you know. I don't know why you would need to do that, but yeah. So anyway, like I said, 7,000 by 1184. That one actually worked, even though. Oh yeah, what did the other one come out like? We didn't look at this one, did we? Oh, she even gets her own block in each picture for this one. Look. We got hands on chest, fist in the air, missing, arm behind back, and another arm behind back. Slightly different hand position. It is very good at doing hands, isn't it, guys? It's very good at doing hands. Right. Is there anything else left? Oh! So the last thing to mention tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have new music on the way. So diddly. Can I find the albums? Here they are. We have the new album, Funk Patience, which is on its way. I just need to do the mastering. We also have a new album called Failure, which is also coming out in the funk style. It will follow Patience. Failure will follow Patience, and you'll most likely get this Bussin' House album first, which I don't even have a name for yet. Haven't even done the tracks. They're all called bloody Echoes of the Night and stuff. I think Bussin' is like French horn inspired, and I'm going to complete that album I started last night, which was the Japanese bee was infused with something. Probably heavy metal, knowing me. Some crazy experiments. So there it is. If you didn't know, all the music that gets played on this show is my own music, which was created with the AI techniques I teach, and Boom. Don't forget, they're all on Spotify. So that means you can get all my albums on Spotify. The artist's name is John Scent with the X's for the vowels. So JXHNSXSX8NT. That's me, Monsieur. Okay, and you can find all the albums up there. Platano, Sucio, Dirty Banana, and Slow Pop both came out just recently, following the Midnight Massacre album from last month. So like I said, 2 more funk albums and a house album, and then I'm working on some metal, and I got another thing in the mix. So Fernicar asks, how on earth do you pick the names of the albums? Well, when they're called stuff like Dirty Banana, I think you can have a few guesses and probably get close. It's like, how do I pick the... It's a really good question. I mean, look, in this particular answer, it's not just random. We've been talking about patience being our greatest weapon. So there is some codified sort of stuff. I've got some cryptic stuff going on. So the Patience album track names are Hold, Still, Wait, Breathe, Temper, Focus, Quiet, Gather, Contain, Suspend, and Compose. That's good advice, if you ask me. As for Failure... Lost, Ghost, Rust, Crash, Spiral, Decay, Echo, Drift, Void, Static, Descent, and Collapse. But don't worry, I'm not crazy. We're just doing the art thing. Obviously, I read those track names backwards. But this would be an arc of sorts. I use a combination, Don. So Don just asked, what AI for making your music? It's good. Going to check Spotify. Thank you. I've covered a whole bunch of different genres. I wanted to push myself, and the guys in the chat have even told me, you know, the guys in the chat have always been like, try this, try that, you know, what this. So I get ideas from them as well, and if it works, it will get turned into something. Regarding the tracks, I mean, look at this. Every track on Platano Sucio is Spanish or Mexican for a dirty fruit. It's all dirty fruit. Every single track is called Dirty Fruit. Various different ones. And for some reason, Chungo Papa actually got banned in some countries because apparently it's slang for bad father, which I didn't know, because I'm talking about Papa the fruit, not Papa the human being. So it's funny how international stuff can get you in trouble sometimes. This happened last year with my Foda Flux pack, which was Brazilian for something else. It's always slang. I find that kind of thing funny, and it's part of the tapestry of the world, so I'm not going to try and avoid it. You should have a link in your description to the Spotify. Good idea, Don. The reality is that I just forgot to update it. You know, sometimes when you look in my descriptions, it's got the wrong website because I've changed the name of the channel as well. It used to be 5 Below 5 UK, but now it's Scuffed Epoch, so that can be confusing as hell. But you asked me what AI I use, okay? I've used them all. I've trained open source. I've done all these different things. What's that? Papa is father and Papa is potatoes. You got gaslit. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. The long housing AI is real, guys. It's going to sit at the back and go, no. Like my favorite bit of the new Alien TV show was how they deal with employment. No spoilers. It's Elysium vibes. Very cool. But yeah, getting back to that question, Don. I've tried all of these different things, and I used to make music with just FL Studio, and I still use FL Studio. But what I'm trying to say is Udio. If I was going to answer that question in a single word, I'd just say Udio. U-D-I-O. They're like an alternative to Suno, and if you ask me, I think they have slightly better features and maybe even a better model. I know that's controversial, because don't get me wrong, I like Suno too. And it works the same kind of way. You know, you generate a track, then you add to it, or, you know. They've got in-painting, they've got style transfer. Udio's the best. It's really good. And I just like the sound as well. I think certain music types, and this is what you're going to see with different music generation services. certain models will be better at certain types of music than others. So maybe the types of music you make will sound better on Suno, and maybe the types of music that I'm trying to make will sound better on thing. MC Twig and DJ Berry says Refusion is my favorite. Again, Refusion is open source, so again I like try to make a distinction between the two, because it's not really fair, you know. I get my tracks in 4 seconds and they're already 2 minutes long, so it's kind of unfair to compare them, right? Like, hear this song now, playing now. Apart from a little bit of weirdness in like the tone, and also I don't do vocals, I only do instrumentals. That's all I do, is instrumentals. The lyrics that I do are like, it's not even real, it's not even words, it's like, and I left it in, I leave it in, you know, because ever since I've been making AI music, it's been like, you know, he talks gibberish, right? And I got into a big argument with SoundCloud. Because they were like, you need to tell us what language this is. And I'm like, it's not a language. And they were like, we can hear the words. And I'm like, no, you can't. Tell me a single word on that track. And they couldn't do it because there aren't any words. They're just sounds that happen to sound like parts of words. But when you think about it, right, let's just get our FL Studio heads on real quick. The thing is, there's no such thing as, like, if you talk about like samples in funk, for example, yeah, it's going to be an absolutely bit crushed, blasted, compressed 30-year-old sample of some rapper on a bad microphone under all the bass and the synthesizers and the drums. So you can't hear what he's saying anyway. You might be able to hear like one word, but most of it is just, you know what I mean? You can't hear it because of the music. And so I like that. I think it's part of the style. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like leaving in the extra fingers because it's synth art and we're proud of it, actually. Yeah, there's extra fingers. It's because I made it with AI. It's almost like, do you know what? It's like there's a special level of nitpicking. Can you imagine being stood behind a world-famous oil painter in the Renaissance, leaning in and saying, I can still see the brush strokes, mate. It's like, well, he wasn't trying to hide them. And I think this is something which is going to happen in AI. We're not trying to hide it. How many websites are there that are like, oh, we'll make your AI text not look like AI? I'm getting to the point now where I'm just like, yeah, it's AI, so what? It's not belligerent. It's just like we're beyond the point of, do you know what I mean? We're way past the point of, you know, oh, AI. We're 3 years in. It's everywhere. It's in every product. You have to have been living under a rock, you know, to not have come to these, you know what I mean? Anyway. Dragon says, AI art always gets pixel peepers. Rubs my rhubarb. I like this vernacular you're developing, Dragon. It's quite refined. And you know what? The only thing, I'm glad that we've had all these discussions tonight, but it has dragged everything out a bit. And so, no time for writers. That's what can happen sometimes. No time for writers. But that means that tomorrow, Writers Club, we're going to be starting our second hour fresh and determined as we go into the final human in loop edit of Act 2 of Orden Rosa, my Romeo and Juliet manuscript. So that's going to be a great time. Obviously, there'll be another feature before that, but we'll be starting at 8 p.m. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me tonight. Don't forget to like the stream, and I'll see you all next time.